Hello everybody. Okay, I've just started. Oh, there's two people already. Wow, that's good. And I've just logged on. So from Les, retired and living the dream. And I've even got my t-shirt on, it's retired and living the dream. So I've been a little bit busy today. So first of all, is the sound okay and the vision's okay? Just somebody put a yes in the comments to say that everything is okay and the sound and the video is okay. So is the sound okay? Okay. I take it that nobody can. Is the sound okay? Oh, all good. Okay, thank you very much. Just that there was no answers, and I just thought, is it gone quiet? Have I pressed the wrong button? Good morning, everybody. Farang Travels. Thumbs up. Was it okay? Farang Travels, all good. Very good. Oh, we've got some advertisement by a truck. So I'll just wait until this passes by. You can hear it in the background, I'm sure. So listen to the advert. No idea what he's saying, but I'm sure he's selling something. Some band on tour. Maybe they're appearing at Band Day sometime today. But there's something going on at Band Day at the minute, so there's all tents and that set up. So we'll maybe have a run down there in the morning and see, or tomorrow afternoon, see what's going on. But Sunday afternoon, welcome everybody. 22 people, 2 thumbs up at the minute. Thank you very much. And we're still a little bit early, a minute to go before I'm due to start. But I like to start a little bit early to make sure everything's working okay. So interesting conversations today. Done lots of things over the past week or two. Many people have asked me why I haven't done any videos for the past week. Well, all will be revealed during this live stream. And for those people who want to know everything what I've been doing, it's very eye-opening what we've been doing this week. So good morning, hi Les from Mike in windy Bognor region. Our Bognor region's lovely. I've been down there. Bognor. Lovely. I've been all over England. England is a lovely place. It still is and it always will be, even though the troubles that's going on at the minute. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the government or governments will turn things around and it will be Great Britain again one day. Off to Bible study, Spartacus 66. Well, have a good morning. Thank you very much for just tuning in. Enjoy your day. Thanks very much for even just popping in and saying hi. Thanks very much. Newcastle under Lyme. I've been to Newcastle under Lyme as well. A couple of weeks there in the caravan many years ago. Time 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. Here we go. Okay, where to start? Where should we start? Okay, I'm going to start with the visa. I'm going to start with the visa because that at the minute is getting a lot of airtime. I don't want to go on about the visa. There's one live stream I did. I went almost 3 hours on various visas and things like that. I'm sure everybody knows and been listening to the rumours about visas, how they're going to change. Shall we put it into a little bit of perspective? Should we have a look at it through the glass half full as opposed to half empty, what might happen and what might going to be happen? Now, I did a little bit of research on the internet this morning with regard to visa and how long it's been 800,000 baht. And I got as far as 2010 and I couldn't find anything past 2010. So let's say 2010, that's 13 years ago. 13 years ago, the visa requirement for money in the bank was 800,000 baht. It might be longer than that, but 13 years, it hasn't changed. So now with inflation and one thing and another, do you not think it maybe is warranting a little bit of a change? And when all said and done, all the fees that people are going to have, imagine 13 years ago, if you were doing the same thing, the average salary now in the UK, and I can only do that because I don't know about America, but 13 years ago, the average salary was £26,000 a year. So 800,000 baht that you'd still have had to put in to open up a retirement visa 13 years ago. And now the average salary in the UK is 29,000. Now that's a lot to do with the crash and things like that, and the way the government hasn't been giving people the wage rise. So 800,000 baht, it's still the same 13 years later on. So in perspective, is it a lot of money? It is. For some people, it's a lot. For me, I couldn't put 800,000 baht in the bank. So the the rumours that have been going around is 1.2 million or 100,000 baht a month. Now let's look at it this way. Let's look at the glass half full as opposed to half empty. Agents have been around as long as I've been here, 12 years. There's been talk about getting rid of the agents, and the agents are actually more busier now than they ever have been. So if they're going to up it to 1.2 million, do you think the agents are going to be done away with, or do you think the agents are still going to be around? The agents are still going to be around. It might cost you a little bit more money, but do you think they're bothered about putting 800,000 baht in the bank or 1.2 million? There will always be a way. Thailand is a country of helping the wheels of motion go around, and brown envelopes are everywhere. So don't worry about it going up. Let's look at the other way. What if it doesn't go up? Because I've got some more answers to all of this. Like, what if it doesn't go up? So the difference is, um, for a monthly 65,000 baht to 100,000 baht, it's £2,250 per month. Now I do a workaround if you don't have the 65,000, and it's an easy workaround, and it's legal and it's simple, but it's possible. And if you can do the workaround for 65,000 baht, then you can do a workaround for 100,000 baht, no problem. And it's easy and it's legal and it's above board, because I wouldn't do nothing illegal here in Thailand, because I want to live here as long as I can. I will see my days out on that sofa there, overlooking that view. And look, there's my hammock as well. I put my hammock up, I've never been able to get my hammock today. Okay, let's have a look at some of the comments. You can say, hi Les, hope you are well. Bill Simpson, yes, thanks, Bill, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, always well, thank you very much. I've never been ill since I come back here in January, and now we're in August. But my 9 weeks in England, I was ill for 3 weeks of the 9 weeks I was there. Les, I spend 2 months every year in Thailand. Can I open a bank account on a 60-day tourist visa? Yes, you can, but no, you can't. Yes, you can if you use an agent. That's what I'm saying. Agents now, you know, they're more busier than they ever have been, because I've helped a friend open up a bank account, and it's more difficult to open a bank account than it ever has been. So you need the brown envelopes to grease the wheels of momentum to be able to do these things. And it works. And it works. In fact, we got told by a lawyer, because this person I'm helping to buy a condo, the lawyer just said, oh, you need to go over this with a blank piece of paper, it's a contract, go to the bank, be open the bank. Absolutely hocus pocus. It was never going to happen. Agent is the way to go. It might cost you 4,500 to 5,000 baht to use an agent to open up a bank account, but boy, that saves all the fuss and carry on and going around trying to open it yourself. If you have a couple of million baht, then they'll look upon you a little bit differently. But one lawyer told me, all you need to do is just purchase a 2,000 baht insurance and they'll open you a bank account. Maybe it's 10 years ago, but not today. So that's my little thing on on the visa requirements going up. But say the glass half empty or half full, what if it doesn't? And I'll give you some reasons why it might not be going up. Because at the minute, the foreign tourists from Western countries who actually spend the most amount of money here, they're actually decreasing in their numbers. So you know what it's like when you go to a department store and there's this great big 100-inch TV, $1,000, and if you don't buy now, next month it's going to go up to $2,000. So how many people buy that $1,000 TV because next month it's going to go up? How about a little thought that these rumours might be coming out because they want more people to retire here and want more income, and the 800,000 bahts in the bank is how many people are now are going to be worried and thinking, I need to do it now. I need to put my 800,000 baht in the bank before it goes up. Makes a little bit of sense, doesn't it? Because there's some rumour mongers around there that everything is going to be painted black. No, it isn't. Because the Western tourists and the retirees have dropped in numbers, and they're getting a lot of Chinese and Indian who spend on average 16% less than us, the Americans, the Australians, the British, the New Zealanders. So the Westerners actually spend more money per visitor. So the Indians, they're probably the worst at spending money, although the Thai government will dispute them figures. But in the research that I've been doing this morning, on average, the Southeast Asian countries such as China, India, and Malaysia, they actually spend less money living on holiday here than us Westerners. So there's a little, just read between the lines. At the minute, the Thai economy, it's heading towards a depression because they're not selling as much stuff as what they expect to be selling. So maybe the baht has been artificially stronger for many years, and it might be going down. And all of this rhetoric, they're saying, listen, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. It might be a load of rubbish, but this is what I've been reading this morning. For the people who were worried about the visas, I would say, don't worry about it. Wait until it happens. It's no good worrying about it. Cross that bridge when you come to it. And if you can do it, pull the trigger and do it now before the TV goes up to $2,000. Retire, come to Thailand and live the dream. It is possible to do. So that's my thing about the visas. Even the agent that I was even the agent that I talked to in Patia, and I send a lot of people his way, he doesn't know what's happening. And like you said, it's all rumour at the minute. And they haven't even got a proper government, and there might not be a proper government for another year. So, but in reality, they don't need the government to pass the orders. The immigration service can make any changes what they want. So it doesn't need a government. Just the immigration service can alter the rules as they wish. So basically, watch this space. Don't worry about it. The other countries such as Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia, Vietnam, it's easy to get in there also. But Thailand for me is still number one of the places to live. So there might be a few more hoops to jump through, but not terribly bad. It can be done. I've been jumping through the hoops for almost 12 years now, and I think it's not difficult to do. It's probably one of the easiest countries actually to retire to. Go and have a look at the other countries and see what the standards of living are and the ease of life. Just if you're in a lucky position where you're retired, you've got the time to go and do it. So go and have a look and check it out. Okay. John Lesclair says, hi Les, love the content of your channel. I'm retiring from the UK, Bournemouth to Chatham in 2 months. I wondered if I am married to my Thai wife for 20, should I get a marriage visa in the UK as I want one-way flight? The fact that you're married to a Thai girl, I wouldn't worry about the flight. And it's as if you're coming over here to retire, you just tell them that you're coming over here. In fact, you can actually apply for a marriage O visa back in England, and then that saves any fuss and carry on. O visa for marriage purposes, and then you can come to Thailand and no problem. But bring all the paperwork that you can get, because you'll have to go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and get it ratified by them and translated into Thai. So you have the Thai translated marriage certificate, which the immigration want, and also the so when you eventually die, as we're all going to die, the British Embassy will need that copy of the marriage certificate that's in English to be able to release the body from the mortuary at the hospital. You haven't even got it, and I'm talking about dying. Sorry, I'm just trying to cover all bases. So do your research. You need a lot of paperwork when you come here. So, but best wishes for your future plans in Thailand. It's a fantastic place to live. Mr. Hu, good morning, Les, and how are you? I'm fantastic. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for tuning in. We've got 63 people in at the present and growing. Thank you very much. 13 likes. Can we have a few more likes? Because the YouTube algorithm loves the likes, because it shows there's engagement. And thank you very much. Oh, John the accountant, always a pleasure to see this guy. He's got many good answers for many things. He's a great guy to know. John the accountant. Yeah, the Thai baht has fallen against Western currency lately because of the Thai political situation. I expect the GBP pound and the euro to fall against the Thai baht within 12 months. Yeah, swings and roundabouts. As far as the cost of living, again, I did a lot of reading this morning, and the English economy, or the English currency against the baht has dropped since Brexit 30%, and we've crawled our way back up again now because of inflation, one thing and another. So I'm probably at the same level now than I was pre-Brexit, when everything just went like a lead balloon, and it went down to just over 36 baht to the pound from 52. That was it. Well, I've had a good 5 or 6 years of tough living because the pound plummeted, but now we're getting back up there again now. But inflation over here is next to nothing in comparison to the UK. The cost of living here is just like, oh, I sing its praise because it's wonderful. I wish everybody could come to Thailand and live in here. Leave a sinking ship. And that's what the UK is, I think, at the end of the day. At the minute, it's a sinking ship. Can you please tell us the best way to buy a property and house in Thailand and ensure that you don't lose the house if things go wrong later with your girlfriend or Thai wife? I've actually done a couple of videos about that. That's only 15 months. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's about the immigrants. I don't want to get into politics and things like that. You know, I have my little whinges, and I watch the news every day. I watch the news every day, and I look at it and I think, I'm so happy to be living here. But anyway, getting back to the house, I apologise if I missed some questions on the feed. I'm answering as much as you can. But if you've got a question, just put a Q at the beginning of it, and then it stands out that it's a question, and then I can like flick onto it. But if it scrolls past it, I apologise. So just rewrite your question again, as I say, trying to answer as many as I can. Now, one of the last videos that I did went for 3 hours and 45 minutes, and there were still people watching. Right, my voice just went after three and 3/4 hours. So let's see how far we get today. So yeah, there are ways of protecting the house over here in Thailand. The people that lose the houses are the people that haven't done the research and think, this girl loves me, she's going to be with me for the rest of my life, I'm going to put everything in her name. But there's things you can do. Prenuptial agreements, if you're going to get married to a Thai girl, lease deals. What I would say is contact a lawyer. I hate lawyers. I don't like lawyers at all. In fact, I'm going to do some videos on about how bad lawyers are. But sometimes you can't do without a lawyer. And sometimes a lawyer in the right circumstances, not through a divorce lawyers are horrible. But for saving your skin and saving your house and saving your pension and cars and things like that, over here, sometimes lawyers will do all of that for you, and they'll save you a lot of money. Now again, the person that I've been helping to buy a condo over here, this will make you laugh. We've seen a number of agents, and every agent said, "Oh, my wife will do it for you. Don't worry, my wife will take care of all the business." Another agent says, "A lawyer? Nobody has lawyers over here." And of course, they're looking at their own circumstances because the sale of the property will go through more smoothly. Now, the cost of a lawyer to do all the due diligence costs and looking to make sure the person who's selling the condo is actually the proper owner, there's no debt on it, there's nothing to be worried about it, it's 40,000 baht. So if you're spending upwards, say, let's say 4 million baht for a condo, 40,000 baht is a very, very small price to pay. And if there's any faults with it, 40,000 baht for me is very, very well spent to do due diligence. Why would you not do it? You would do it in America and you would do it in the UK. So why would you not do it in Thailand? Crazy. 40,000 baht for a lawyer to look at everything and make sure that the contract you're signing is the correct contract and that you are covered 100% legal. Because let's face it, it's a different ball game over here in Thailand compared to America, Australia, England, New Zealand, blah, blah, blah. You know what it's like. So contact a lawyer. I've got a contact for a lawyer if you want. Never dealt with him before. This is the first time, but I've actually met a lawyer and I was okay with him, even though he was a lawyer. And he's helping the person that I'm helping to buy, because we took them to the lawyers to make sure that everything was okay. But three agents all said, "What are you doing with a lawyer?" And one of the Ruskies agents said, "Nobody gets a lawyer here, nobody gets a lawyer." But then again, the condo he was trying to sell was awful. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, that will cover you for buying a condo. It can be 100% in your name. A house, you can own the house, but you can never own the land that it's sitting on. But you can get a lease. If you buy it through a company name, that circumvents the situation, but it's a grey area and it's not 100% kosher. But having a lease, again, a lawyer can explain about all of these things a lot more in depth than what I can do. This is all the knowledge that I've gained over the number of years here. And the company, although everybody says, yeah, get a company, I'll do another video about setting up a company, and it's just as bent in the grey area, setting up a company so you can do stuff legally than not having a company. I like to do things legally that I can, and at the end of the day, Thailand bends the rules over absolutely everything over here. There's nothing straight. Everything bends with the rules. So, anyway, always informed, Liz. You do a good job on these live chats. Thanks very much. Again, the comments that I get and the emails that I get every day when I do a live stream or something like this, thanks very much for all your help and support. And in genuine, I would say 90% of the comments that I get are good comments, and I hope they are good. I'm a genuine, honest person. I don't give you any BS. I tell it how it is. And I've lived here for 11 years, so I've got lots and lots of information. I can't tell you where the best pizza is or the best coffee shop is in Patia. I can't tell you where the girls are cheap. I can't tell you where, because I don't do that type of thing. I used to do it, and I used to take people around Patia, but I don't do that anymore. But there are other YouTubers that you can listen to that. I'm one of the YouTubers that settle down, live outside of the metropolis of Patia, and I live a good life, and I pass on that information. So for all those guys that are coming here to Thailand, once they've got over their little experimental trip to Patia and want to settle outside of Patia, I'm the guy that you need to come and see. I hope so anyway. Thanks very much. Let's have a look. Smash the thumbs up, Mr. Who. Yeah, thank you very much. We've got 31 thumbs up, and I'm happy at that. We're going in the right direction. Mr. Who, question. Are there any Western estate agents in Thailand? In the main places, I imagine it would be a good business for other Westerners to trust. Trusting a Westerner. Now, I know I don't want to say too much with this one. I know a Westerner who's cheated many people out of lots of money, many people out of a lot of money, condos and things like that. He was a Westerner. The condos that we went to see in a location that I won't say was run by a Russian. Just one look at him, and it was like, would you trust this person? The answer was not on your Nelly. So there are estate agents that have to be run by Thai, but they have Westerners. I mean, there's ERA. I'll use ERA as an example. Up in Rayong, ERA, and one of the guys is Patrick, a Swedish guy, absolutely 100% trustworthy, nice guy, tells it how it is, doesn't BS you, and he's a genuine guy. But I've got to say, out of all the agents that I've met, he's an exception. He's a nice guy. You've got to, I would say, just go with your own gut feeling. If it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true. And always, 100% use a lawyer if you're going to be buying or spending a lot of money. But yeah, there are the Russians. They've got their own estate agents down in Phuket and things like that. And as I say, the people that we dealt with in this other location were Russians. And yeah, the thing about salesmen, and I'm not knocking salesmen here, I'm not knocking anybody. Everybody makes a living one way or another. But a salesman is going to sell you something because he gets a commission or she gets a commission. So do your due diligence, look into everything. If it sounds so good to be true, it is. And if the gut feeling is not to trust them, don't trust them. Oh, my voice is going already. So yeah, but there are plenty of places here. Good bargains to get for houses, accommodation. For those people who want to make the move, do it. You won't regret it. Or even look outside. If you okay, the little bit of a story about the person that we've helped in Rayong here. They're moving halfway across the world to feel safe. Now, how sad that the person that's moving from America, San Francisco, one of the wealthiest cities in America, is moving halfway across the world to feel safe. Because the condo that she's going to buy has got 24-hour security. We've driven around the whole of Rayong in various places, and I've showed her the rundown places. And I said, this is the rundown areas of Rayong. And she just laughed and she said, that's nothing in comparison to San Francisco. She feels, it's a lady that's moving over here as well. I won't say age, but she's an elderly lady who feels vulnerable and unprotected in her own country of America, in San Francisco, with the homeless, the druggies, just the bad feeling. She feels unsafe in her own apartment. And I've showed her the apartments here, what she gets for her money, and she's over the moon. She's pulled the trigger and said, I'm coming over to live in Thailand. And that's what she's doing. She's actually moving over here to Thailand. And if you want to know further about her story, her YouTube channel, she's just started a YouTube channel because she's so excited about passing the word on about safety and feeling safe and comfortable in a different country. Her YouTube is her expat retirement. So have a look at that, and she'll go through the reasons on various videos as why she wants to leave America, why she wants to leave San Francisco. And all I can say, we're going to do an interview, and I'm going to publish the interview on it. We're going to do another video with that, because she opened my eyes up. Because you hear of all of these things, but when you actually sit and talk to a real person who lives in the real situation, in the real world of what actually is going on, and why somebody wants to move away from America because they don't feel secure in their own country, in one of the wealthiest cities in the whole of America, and they feel like that. And I've watched several videos, and it's shocking to watch. So look at her video, her expat retirement, and she goes on about why she wants to come over here. She's going to do follow-up videos because we're going through the whole process of buying a condo and why she wants to buy a condo, the costs, etc., etc., etc. But for me, she's a wonderful lady, and she's pulled the trigger, and I wish her every success and happiness over here. So it's not just, Thailand isn't just for guys, although it's a guy's playground over here. Women can also come over here and feel very, very safe. So let's have a look. Is there a limit on how many years I can lease land from my wife? Building a house on it? No, it usually goes 30, 30, 30. So 30 plus 30 plus 30, so 120. So you'd have to be very, very old before you got to the end of the lease. Again, you can just do all that lot with a lawyer. So let's say that you're a 60-year-old guy and you come over here and you're building a house and you're leasing the land. So 60 plus 30, take it to 90-year-old. Now, the average person doesn't live much beyond 90 years old. So that will cover you for the first 30 years. But then after that 30 years, you can extend it another 30. This is what we're going to do with this house here that we bought. When we finish paying for it, even though I'm married to my wife, we can't do it yet because it's under a finance deal, private finance deal. So we can't actually do that because we're still with the landlady. But the minute we finish paying for it, and my wife is open and honest and happy with everything like that, that's what we're going to do. Is that when it comes from the landlady to our name, well, it'll never be in my name, but I understand that from day one, and I've got no problem with that because you can't take it with you. You can't fit it in your 6 foot by 3 foot box before it gets cremated. So my wife was always going to have it, and I've got no problems with that. If you don't trust your wife or your partner, you wouldn't even enter into a deal like this because as a guy, you're always going to lose, but you lose in every Western countries anyway. And it's no difference in Thailand. That's what I'm saying. That's why you need to go and see a lawyer, protect yourself, protect your investments, because at 60-year-old, you're past the age of recouping a loss. I did it at 40-year-old, and it took 20 years to get back to the situation I was before a heavy divorce. So look after number one, and that's you. And if you look after number one, everything, all your little ducks will be in a row, and you'll be as happy as I am. I'm very happy. How do you renew medications in Thailand? Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Greetings from New Zealand. Okay. New Zealand. Love New Zealand. I was there for 3 months. Fantastic place. Medication. Okay, medication. Right. There's a number of subscribers asked me with regard to heavy duty medication if they come over to Thailand. Is it possible to get it? And I went around a number of pharmacies and we ended up going to one of the hospital pharmacies, and I talked to one of the pharmacies, actually the hospital, because the smaller pharmacies, they couldn't get this medication. It was to do with diabetes and blood pressure, but really, really heavy duty medication that you need a prescription for to get in the first place. And you can't renew them here on your doctor's letter. You still need to go and see a Thai doctor, and you show him your doctor's prescription or your doctor's letter to say you need to be on this medication. Then once the Thai doctor gives you the prescription to do it, then you can get your medication, but it has to be ratified by a Thai doctor so you can get that medication. But almost every medication you get in the Western world, you can get here also. No problem. And if they don't have your brand of medication, there'll be an alternative for it also. But yeah, medication over here, no matter what you're on, there will be an equivalent. So don't worry about medication. Um, so that's how you renew. Having holidayed all over the world, Thailand is the safest I have felt walking around in the evening. Absolutely. I travel around the world, and I totally agree with you. In my early days of being in in Thailand. I did the Patia. I've done all the Patia stuff, walking street, you know, walking a snake's path, thinking, no, I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm tipsy, but I'm not drunk. And having the roller shutter door marks all down your arm because you banged into the roller shutter doors. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, walking home, thinking, I only live a couple of kilometres away. Them couple of kilometres can take an hour to walk. And I've never been robbed. I've never been pickpocketed. I've never been accosted. I've never been in a fight. It's as safe as anything. In fact, if you fall over, Thai people will try and help you up and help guide you on your way. Thai people are so friendly, but it's like any big city, Bangkok or Pattaya. There are people out there that will rob you if you're in such a state to be like that. Some people will take advantage of the situation, but on the whole, you're much safer here than anywhere else in the world. And I still believe, and like 11 years, crime here is it's never going to be zero, but the punishment for crime over here is so severe that that puts a lot of people off. So don't fear about crime at all. I believe it's only the first 30 years that is legally binding, then it's by agreement. I don't know. That's where a lawyer comes in. I'm of the opinion that once you sign that first lease, it's automatically renewed because, correct me if I'm wrong, but again, a lawyer may tell you this, is that because you've signed the lease agreement on the land 30 plus 30 plus 30, it means your siblings, your children, could also have the pleasure of using. So if you have a house on a nice plot of land or wherever and you pop your clogs, then your family can live in that house. Well, that all comes under the agreement, things like that, because there's somebody I know have asked the husband, who's very elderly, to sign away that right that his heirs and his children can't have the facility of using the 30 plus 30 plus 30, because that stops her from selling the house once he passes away in his late 80s now anyway. So again, a lawyer. As much as I don't like lawyers, there is a time and there's a place where you can use the lawyers. And this is one of the occasions use a lawyer over here for sure. Let's have a look. Hi, one more question. Can I convert my marriage visa to a retirement visa when I arrive? Yes, you can. If you're on a marriage visa is so complicated. We've just got our marriage visa this year. Actually, we got it first time this time. For the past 5 years, it's always been the majority of times 2 or 3 visits to the immigration, but this year we managed to do it in 1. And the first year it took 6 visits to the immigration centre to get our marriage visa. But now it's the same lady we deal with, so she knows us. So we managed to do it in 1 time. But my wife still got shouted at by the immigration officer for not filling in all the paperwork properly. And the most serious thing was because the landlady signed a piece of paper with black ink and not blue. And my wife got into trouble for that. How crazy. Black ink as opposed to blue ink. But yeah, a retirement visa, you're in and out of immigration department 15 minutes and you can do that. But obviously, then your income levels need to be higher. At the minute, with a marriage visa, you only need to show 40,000 baht a month or 400,000 in the bank account. And if you go through the retirement visa, it will be 800,000 or 65,000 baht. Now, what I would do before you pull the plug on your marriage visa is, with the rumours of everything going to go up, look at it this way. If you go over to the retirement visa and it changes, you might have to put 1.2 million in and 100,000 baht a month. Whereas the marriage visa, that might only go up to 600, or even might that go up to 800,000 and 65,000. So before you pull the trigger on that one, I would maybe just give it a year and see how things are going. Now, there's talk about if you're on the retirement visa, you will be grandfathered into that because that was the visa that you signed up on. So sometimes it might make sense to say, okay, bite the bullet. I'm going to go the retirement visa now, because when the new rules come out, or if the new rules come out, you may be okay on the old. But that's all up in the air. Nobody really knows for sure. But think about that before you actually do that. That's just one thought that came through my mind with regard to that. Montana's Thailand retirement. Hi, Les. Nice to see you again. Thanks for all the videos. I'm here. I'm there on Monday, the 21st. So no luck now, and I look forward to seeing you, Montana, from Sydney. Yeah. Oh, Monday. That's not too far away, then, is it? That's tomorrow. We're looking at condos again tomorrow. We're going to give details, and she's so excited about this condo. It's a lovely condo. It's beautiful. 109 square meters for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo. Beautiful. Nice swimming pool, nice safe area. Who wouldn't want to live in a safe area? So yeah, have a safe trip. I hope everything goes smoothly for you when you get here. And Sydney, I know how expensive Sydney is, because I lived there for a month, and it's wow, very, 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 very expensive. I bought my retirement visa 20 years ago. It was 800,000 then, but the baht was 74 to the pound. So yeah, 20 years ago. Wow. I looked at it, and I got to 2010. It was 800,000 then, but 800,000 20 years ago. Wow. So in some ways, can you actually blame them for upping the upping the limit that they need? So I personally, although I'm not a visa agent, and I listen to all the rumours, and I think at the end of the day, Thailand economy wants the retirees, and I think that there's a entry level for no matter what money you have coming into Thailand, because I would put myself in the lower to middle income bracket with regard to here. We live on 55,000 baht a month. But we support the street food people. We support the mama and pop shops. And if you were a wealthy guy, you would never ever eat street food, and you will always eat in the 5-star hotels. Well, we never eat in the 5-star hotel because it's too expensive. So do you see what I mean about there's different levels of people, and there's an income level for every level. So let those high soul people support the high soul people, and let the people from the working class support the working class people. There's no problem with that, because every level of people needs to be supported here. And for me, for one, I love the street food. It's fresh, it's cooked right in front of you, it's lovely. 5-star hotel prices, I can't afford 5-star hotel prices, but for those people who can afford it, good for you. But do not knock the people who don't have a lot of money here, because life here, even on a small amount of money, is probably far better than back in the home countries. But that's my opinion anyway. Morning, ladies. Question: do you need an address to enter Thailand as a tourist? No, you don't. No, you don't. Not as a tourist. Now, one of the laws that's changing for the retirement visa, to get a retirement visa, you need a 12-month lease contract, to get your retirement visa. Now, that's just a new rule that's just come out. It's like everything else. There's ways and means around that. So if you had a 20,000 baht a month contract, that's a lot of money. If you want to travel around Thailand, what about the guys that come here and get a retirement visa within the first 2 or 3 months and decide to travel around Thailand? But you have to have a 12-month, contract before you can do that. It's just a waste of money. But it's like everything else. There's a way around that. The system will bend towards that. But personally thinking, I think that rule may get scrapped for exactly that reason, that it's so limiting to the people. No, you need a 12-month contract to do this. Who knows? But that's just one of the other rules. But no, in answer to your question, you don't need a permanent address. You just need, the immigration might ask for an address where you're going to go. But if you book a hotel for a week, then you just saw immigration, listen, this is my hotel for the first week, then I don't know where I'm going to be at that. And they'll be happy at that. All right. If the wife dies before me and the land legally must go to a Thai family member, is their family required to honour the lease? Um, uh, Again, I'm not a lawyer and I can't give you a 100% answer, but what my belief is that because you've leased the land off your wife, you have 1 year in which to sell the land or vacate the land. That 30-year lease becomes null and void once your wife dies because, in effect, you're leasing it off your wife, and if your wife isn't here, then you've got no comeback onto that. I think that's one of the things that the bad things about leasing the 30-year lease off your wife, because then it will go to one of her family members. Again, this is a lawyer will sort them problems out for you. But that's the thing that I heard, that if your wife dies before you, you have a year in which to vacate the land or sell the land or wherever you want. But also, if your wife dies, your marriage visa becomes null and void also. But I think there's a grace period of 1 or 2 months to get things sorted out, and then you'd have to go into a retirement visa. So yeah, again, there are many things to look at when you're coming over to live in Thailand. You need to get all your ducks in the same, put them all in the same row, look at everything. So sort of cover every option, because we're all going to meet our maker one day. And when you die, your wife can't ask you the questions that you need to tell. Okay, Lover. What is your favourite area in Thailand other than the one where you live? Oh, I've been all over Thailand. Um, I would say my favourite place in Thailand is, without a shadow of doubt, Pai up near Chiang Mai. It's an absolutely stunningly, jaw-droppingly beautiful place to visit. Um, it's just lovely. It's very, very laid back, very sort of hippies, 60s, 70s sort of thing. And it's wonderful. And it's incredibly cheap to stay there. The views, the mountain views, spectacularly beautiful. But as far as um, I'll just add this quickly. One of the most beautiful places in the world that I've ever been, and I've traveled the world in Europe, is Sapa in Vietnam. That is the most jaw-droppingly beautiful place that I've ever been to in the world. It is stunningly beautiful. Every 100, 200 meters, it's like wow, 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 wow. So anybody that lives over here in in Thailand, have a trip to Sapa in Vietnam. It's stunningly beautiful, as is all of Southeast Asia. The people are friendly, everywhere is friendly. It's nice to see people smiling and happy in a poor country. When's the last time you've seen poor people or not very well paid people happy in your own country? The Westerners have got it wrong. The Westerners have got it wrong, that's for sure. So yeah, that's my favourite place in Thailand, is without a doubt Pai. I've been to the Phuket. I've been out there. Stunningly beautiful as it is, but boy, you pay such a big price to stay in Phuket and the islands. Koh Samui, when I first came, 2002, that was beautiful. That was a old-fashioned island as well, but it's all been modernised. It's all it's beautiful, but it's not as nice as it was 20 years or so ago. Okie dokie. What is your favourite area? Oh, we've done that one. Where you live. Such great and useful advice. Many thanks. I shall buy you a beer when I arrive, as sister lives in Rayan. Thanks very much. Always up for a beer or a coffee. Thank you very much. Les Farang Visa says they can do it, retirement visa on a 3-month rental contract. Yeah, again, I know 2 or 3 agents, and they all give different answers. And so I send people to an agent that I know, but he does everything. He does the marriage, the retirement visa, he does education visas, non-O, non-OA, and he does the driver's licenses and opens a bank account. So he does everything, and he speaks good English. So a couple of other agents that I know don't speak particularly well English, so the communications might be a bit of a problem, but they still do a good service for your visa. And if anybody wants to know who the visa agent is that I send, if you send me an email address, send me an email, and then I'll tell you who I actually send people to. I'll put my email address in there. 58. Come. I don't put it on air because it's just it's sort of unfair, and you know, I just send people to him because he does everything, one-stop shop. The person that I'm helping to buy a condo over here has just been there, and she's opened a bank account with him. She's going to get the retirement visa with him, sorted the TM30 problem out, which is where she's staying. They didn't fill out the TM30. TM30 is a registration that supposedly all hoteliers have to do within 24 hours of you arriving there, and she'd been here a week. So that created problems for opening a bank account because you need, it's like, wow, you know, just a little thing like that can cause problems. But the visa agents wave their magic wand, and that's all gone away. And she goes and gets a bank account open next week. So that's what we do. The visa agents help to facilitate anything that goes astray over here. They wave their magic wand, and everything is fixed. They are worth their salt, visa agents. But I also tell people how to avoid using a visa agent, and there are many ways. There are many ways that you can do. You can avoid using a visa agent. Basically, if you've got the money to live here, you don't need a visa agent. And if you don't have the money to live here, you still don't need a visa agent, but you have to do a little bit more work yourself. But everything is possible over here. And some people that I give the answers to be able to not use a visa agent, they think, oh, it's too complicated, I'll use a visa agent. It's up to you. But I only give not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I give advice that isn't illegal. It bends the law, but it's not illegal. It doesn't break the law. But that's what everybody else does here also. Even the top lawyers who have a program, who have a YouTube channel, they bend the law also. But they do it legally. They legally bend the law because they've got a piece of paper saying they can legally bend the law. Yes. What driving license do you need, international or Thai, to drive over here? You just need an international driver's license to drive a car over here, or a motorbike, and your original driver's license also. But again, it's not difficult to get a Thai driver's license over here, and I would suggest anybody, if you're living over here full time, go and get yourself a driver's license because it's worth it. It's not expensive. It's just time consuming. It can take a day. And again, there are agents who will help you get past the queue, because the queue can be up to 6 months long to do it through the Thai system or the Thai bureaucracy. But an agent for a few thousand baht will grease the wheels of motion, if you like, and help you get that much quicker. So it's not a lot, 4,500-5,000 baht, I think, and you can get your driver's license within a day. And over here, whereas in the UK, one license covers everything. Your driver's license covers your car, your motorbike, or anything that you can drive. Over here, you need a separate license for your car, separate license for your motorbike. So just do it that way. Question is, how would you spell that place, Pai, in Thailand? I googled it, and chicken and mushroom. PIA, pie. Just put. It's near Chiang Mai. P-A-I, pie, P-A-I, pie. I know that it's not chicken pie. But Patia, near Chiang Mai, two and a half hours from Chiang Mai to Pai, and there's something like 700 bends in between Chiang Mai and Pai, and a lot of people get travel sick because there's lots of bends and ups and downs. But it's a fantastic motorbike ride. If you like motorbikes, it's a fantastic bike ride because the roads are beautiful, but just don't go too fast, otherwise. I mean, there has been quite a few deaths on that road because the bends are like, some of the bends are very sharp, hairpin bends, but it's just stunningly beautiful. You won't regret. You'll thank me. You'll give me a thumbs up. You'll buy me 20 beers. All right, let's have a look. Does the 90-day reporting have to be done in the province that it was issued, and what documents do you have to show? Thank you. 90 days can be done online, and you don't have to show any documents. You just have to fill out, I think it's a TM7 or a TM37. It's just for renewal of your 90 days. And I do it online, and it's a 5-minute process. You do it, and then within 24 hours, you get a reply if it's been granted or not. And because for me, it's 45-minute drive to our immigration, and then 45 minutes back. So it's an hour and a half, where it takes 5 minutes on the computer. But if you do it online, then you can be anywhere in Thailand. But in reality, you can go to any province immigration, and as long as you have a letter or some information from the hotel that you're staying at or a friend's house to say you are staying there for a holiday, and that actually tells them that where you're staying. Because if you stayed at like a guest house or a hotel, they will have already wrote the TM30 down to say that you're staying at that hotel. So all you're doing is just reconfirming that you are staying at that hotel. So yes, you can actually do your 90 days anywhere in Thailand, but you need proof to say where you're staying. Can you go to the immigration office and get your certificate of residency? Yep. Your certificate of residency is at the immigration office. Now, certificate of residency, that's for buying a car, selling a car, buying a motorbike, selling a motorbike, getting a license for your car, getting a license for your motorbike. So basically, certificate of residence for anything that you do with regard to driving or buying a house, selling a house, and things like that. Now, there are people who say, if you own your own property over here, you get a yellow book and you can get a pink ID card. So therefore, you don't need a certificate of residence. But I've got a guy who owns his own house, and he's got the pink ID card. He went to buy a car the other day, and they said, "We want a certificate of residence." And he showed him the house book. No, we want a certificate of residence. He showed him the pink ID card that you get for living over here because you got your own house. No, we want a certificate of residence. So no matter what he did, they said, we want a certificate of residence. So according to the Thai law, you don't need a certificate of residence if you have the yellow book or the pink ID card. But in this situation, the Toyota garage, they wanted a certificate of residence. Okie dokie. Do they have mobility scooters? Yes, they do. And again, it's like everything else. You get the cheap Chinese knockoffs mobility scooters, and you get the decent quality ones. I've got a couple of friends who would drive around in the mobility scooters, and because they're electric vehicles over here, you don't need a license to be able to drive them. You don't need to wear a helmet either. But they are good. Mobility scooters, because the walking, I've got to say, the pathways of everywhere. The pathways of anywhere in Thailand are bad for walking around. So mobility scooters, you still got to be careful on the roads, but it's well worth it, the mobility scooters. They're not expensive to buy, but they're brilliant. Yeah, so there's two guys that I know, and there's possibly a third person that's just about to buy a mobility scooter, because the other two friends have it just gives you that mobility of being able to get around. So it saves catching taxis or motorbike taxis, or especially for doing local trips. Kevin, super chat. Oh, thank you very much. much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll go and have a couple of coffees with the wife next week, because next week we've got a busy week. On Monday we're going to um, for the paperwork for the condo, just to tick all the boxes and cross the T's and dot the I's. Then on Wednesday I'm taking the lady to Patia to get the bank account, and then she'll have been here almost 2 weeks then. So then it's time for her to relax in, because she's done all the paperwork and things like that. So then we're going to go to Koh Samet and show a beautiful tropical island, which is stunningly beautiful, one of the top 10 whitest beaches in the world, and say, you can put your feet up now, go back to San Francisco, sell everything, tell everybody what to do, come here and live a happy life for the rest of your life without fear of being robbed or fear of living anywhere. Anyway, I think that's incredible, that people in their own countries don't feel safe. And I've never ever felt unsafe here. But thanks very much for the coffee. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Okay. Hi Les, I gave up everything in the UK a few weeks ago and retired here. Best thing I ever did. Thank you very much, Adrian. I use an agent who arranged everything for me. It took away the stress and the worry. It does. It does. You know, I can, even though I have workarounds, there, and it is a workaround, and it saves you a lot of money, but also it can be time consuming. What we've done with the lady that we've had, we've used agents, and because I know where we are, it saved her a packet, because she doesn't have to pay taxi drivers. We can take her there, and we sort of picked her up at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning and dropped her off home 5 or 6 o'clock on the evening. So she spent the whole day with us. We showed her the best, some nice restaurants, some nice coffee shops, the local area. She's got a head full of knowledge now, where maybe I've crammed too much in a week and a half. But there's more to come. As I say, there's better to come, and from next week she can sort of relax, because she's done all the paperwork, she's got all the ducks in a row, and she's ready to move on with that. And I'm sure she'll be very happy. In fact, as I say, we're going to do an interview on here anyway. So for all those ladies that are watching, you know, who want to make the move, you know, her YouTube channel, and even if the guys are looking and thinking, why is somebody moving from San Francisco halfway across the world to Thailand, her YouTube channel is called Her Expat Retirement. So have a look at that, and she'll go through the reasons as to why she's moving halfway across the world to feel safe. Matthew Fly. Hi Les, moving to Thailand with a girlfriend and both being from the UK. How easy is it to buy a house? It's very easy to buy a house. My wife's coming back. Well, that was quick. She normally doesn't come back until 6 o'clock. Buying a house is very easy, but also remember that you cannot own the house. Well, you can own the house, but you can't own the land that it sits on. But like this house, we've got this house here, and it's a lovely house. And as I say, we bought this house, so it's easy to do. But you can own the condo 100% in your own name. So I'm going to disappear. Are you going to bring it in there? Okay. Okay, good sell. Oh, watch the. Okay, my wife on the weekend, she goes and sells sausages and snacks on the seafront. It gives her a little bit of talking to other Thai people, gives her something to do. Not because she needs the money, she just does it because I'm here doing my YouTube. And I usually wash the car on a Saturday or Sunday, which I did wash the car today before I did the live stream. So it's let them do what she's happy doing it. You know, she doesn't make a lot of money for it, but she's happy doing it. So you can have a good time here. You know, living here, it has to please both people. And it does. We do what we want. If I say to Ploy tomorrow, we're going to go on holiday, she'll have the case packed and we're away on holiday. I have such a fantastic life here. Retired and living the dream. We have. Oh, if anybody wants to buy a mug, I can only deliver to Thailand because the postal service won't deliver outside of Thailand. But 300 baht plus 50 baht for postage. If anybody wants a retired and the living the dream mug, there's retirement living dream mug on both sides. Just send me an email with the address and I'll send you it gladly. I've sold a few. Some people are interested and the t-shirts are good. But thank you very much. That's my own little plug about my retired and living the dream. Why not? So yeah, buying a house is easy and it's not difficult, and you will find that you'll get a lot more for your money over here. I mean, why are people scared of a lease, of buying a house and things like that? Maybe it's because it's not normal, but you can buy a house in England that's just leased. It's not actually yours. You're buying the lease, a 99-year lease, and people are happy with that in England. So you just use them lawyers. And I don't particularly like using lawyers because I don't like lawyers, but sometimes they are a necessary evil to protect yourself. And use the lawyer, and he will tell you everything and anything that you want to know. So yes, you can buy a house. You get a lot of money for a house over here in Thailand. So best wishes for your moving over to Thailand. By the way, I've noticed that the flights to Thailand are getting cheaper. Thai Airways return direct 571. Oh, that's cheap. That's coming back down to how it used to be. I know when I went back to UK, I did a one-way flight from here to London, and then a single return coming back because I didn't know how long I was going to be in England, and the total cost was just over £1,000. So 571. That's back in the days when it used to be that. Tired?
Angry.
Angry? Oh, okay.
No, nothing to do with like
Okay.
mainly with some car like.
Okay. All right. I'll be. Well, it's 4 o'clock. Yeah. Usually my wife comes back about 6 o'clock, so she must have had a good day today because she's back early. Anyway, so where were we? Yeah, the flights are cheap, very nice. Nice to see that they've actually come down. But this is like rainy season, but I mean, it looks a little bit white on there, but it's the colour of the camera. But it's blue skies, it's beautiful, it's nice and warm. That's the one thing about Thailand that I love so much. Probably one of the best things is because you don't get cold. You never suffer from being cold over here. It's beautiful. Koh Samet is so convenient for us here in Rayong and Chonburi. Yeah, we live 30 minutes away from Koh Samet. It's fantastic. Again, one of the top 10 whitest beaches in the world. Such a small island. You can rent a motor scooter for a day for about 250, 300 baht, and you'll see the whole place. And there are so many beautiful white. It's like flour. The sand is so fine. It's beautiful, and the snorkeling is really, really good. And on Koh Samet, you can do a 3 island snorkel trip for 600 baht, which is about £15, something like that, and includes lunch and all the hire of the snorkeling gear. And it's wow. It is beautiful. Tropical island. It is, in the brochures, it's just like the tropical islands that you see in the brochures. And we live 30 minutes away from that. We've got some beautiful beaches where we live on the mainland, some beautiful beachside restaurants that we go in and eat. So yeah, but I'm singing the praises of Rayong because it's beautiful. Uh, Farang Travels, I've not seen prices like this, and I've been looking. Oh well, as I say, Sky Scanner is what I use when I'm looking for flights. But there's Kayak. There's many different flight uh, ticket providers. Shopping around. Joint account is that for? Oh, it's asking a question. Mr. Mitch, new subscriber, her expat retirement. Cheers, Mr. Mitch. Hopefully, you'll get a few more subscribers from that. But as I say, it's not just for ladies coming over here; it's for guys as well. You know, who are despondent with living in their home countries because of what's happening. You know, I watch with amazement every single day as to what's happening in the UK. Now, I'm not against the illegal immigrants coming over to England at all. I'm not against anybody that wants to try and improve their life, but it's just so ridiculous that we can't defend our own country against anybody that wants to come into our home country. And like in Thailand, if I arrived here illegally, I'd be put in jail or I'd be deported straight away, no questions asked. So if they can do that here in a third world country, some people look at Thailand as a third world country, why can't we do it in England? I have got no right whatsoever just to plonk myself into Thailand and say, here, look after me, give me a hotel, give me food, give me money, let me go through the process to stay here. It's just like, no, you're not welcome here, go away. Crazy. All right, what else have we got on here? Hang on, I've got some questions here. As far as apps and that are concerned, with regard to living here in Thailand, apps are a wonderful thing. I'm not a technophobe, but you can just go pay for everything. Like with your mobile phone nowadays, you know, even my wife sells sausages for 10 baht on the seafront. There's a QR code, so you can actually pay for your sausages or your snacks, even as little as 10 baht. Through a QR code with your phone, just press the button, comes out your bank account. Now, there's many places where they'll accept that, and in fact, there's probably more places now that just want to accept their phone payments as opposed to cash. But I like the. I've got 3 sausages left. Is that all? I'll have them later then.
Not left. We might stay, but I come early.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. So, me, I'm old-fashioned. I have the money in my wallet. I like to feel the pain when you're paying the money out. You can see it. So we have a certain amount of money to live on every month, and I can see the notes going down and down, and I know I'm at close to the end of my limit. Whereas if you have it on the phone, then you just bing, bing. Although you can look at your credit or your balance, wherever it is, and it'll tell you what your balance is, you don't feel the pain of it going out your wallet. But that's me, I'm old-fashioned with that. Other apps. For those people who like the radio or TV and things like that, I have Netflix over here, so I watch Netflix with regard to movies. I've got a screen, 100-inch screen, and a projector. So we have movie nights over here in my house where I watch a big 100-inch screen movie, and that is for less than 10,000 baht. Because we're not bar people, we don't go out drinking. We live in our house, and it's just nice to have the entertainment that you want. I have the radio apps for Heart Radio, Radio 2, Radio 1, maybe there's a dozen different radio stations on my phone. So you just click wherever station you want to listen at, and then it plays through my speakers and things like that. So there's everything and anything you can. YouTube over here. YouTube is a wonderful. YouTube is the second largest search engine. Google is the first. YouTube is the second, and YouTube is owned by Google. So you can type anything, absolutely anything, in YouTube, and it will come up with a video. You just type in anything. Think of something, and type it in, and there'll be a YouTube video on it. So for me, I never watch the UK TV like the BBC, you know, EastEnders and Coronation Street. So I've never been a fan of them anyway. So I never watch that. YouTube and Netflix are my 2 favourite ones. I'm not into sports, things like that, but you can get all the sports channels here with various apps that you can get, but it costs you money. But if you want it, everything is available over here. Hi Les, have you heard of Koh Tao, Death Island? Many Westerners gone missing or murdered, no one arrested. Yeah, I've heard of it. And many people getting murdered. I don't think many people have been murdered there. There's been a few people killed over there, yeah, and it does make the headlines. There has been people arrested for the young girl and the young boy that got murdered a few years ago. Two Burmese people, I believe, were arrested, and whether it was them or not, I don't know. There's some doubt about it, that they were tortured to admit to doing it. I don't know. I really don't know. But I mean, which country are you from? Doesn't say which country you're from, but how many murders are in your country every day or every year? So it's like everything else. There was a murder. A guy was cut up and put into a freezer over here, but it's like mafia related or crime related. So that's going to happen over here also. There was another Russian guy shot through the windscreen of his car down in Phuket somewhere. Yeah, that was attempted murder. But for normal, everyday people, it doesn't happen to them. You know, you hear about it, but there's murders in Redcar, where I used to live. There's murders in Redcar. So we live in a more unsafe world now than what we ever have. And but over here, murder is a rarity. In England, there's probably a murder every single day. So yeah, beautiful island. Sad, but it happens. Is it acceptable? Of course it's not acceptable. But, you know, nobody should be murdered. And it's such a beautiful island. And it's got that stigmatism now, that Death Island. Yeah, it carries that label, and it always will carry that label because of what happened. As far as I know, immigration is the only place we can get a certificate of residency. Yeah, that's the only place you can get a certificate of residency is your immigration office. Again, it takes 5 minutes to get a residency certificate. It doesn't take long. So what else? What else are we talking about? Now we're only just less than 1.5 hours, 1 hour and 17 minutes. 78 people looking, 51 thumbs up. If you like the content, give me a thumbs up. That'd be fantastic. That all helps the algorithm run for YouTube. And again, if you've got any questions, you can always email me any questions that you want to know. I'm a mind of information, and there's many things that I can answer. And if I can't answer them, then I'll send you in the right direction to the people that can answer them. There's sort of nothing that I haven't been able to answer yet. Oh, hi, Kelly. Kelly, welcome to the chat, Kelly. This is the girl that's moving over here, and she said, I haven't seen one homeless person as yet. I trip over them outside the apartment in San Francisco area. So this is the girl. Like I said, if you want to know why people are leaving America, she lived soon to live over here. San Francisco, one of the wealthiest cities in the whole of America. I've been to San Francisco when I did my round the world trip. Fell in love with it. Beautiful, beautiful place. But what I see now on the documentaries, there's like a main street which was packed with high-so shops type of thing, totally empty, absolutely totally empty. Every shop is gone. As I say, the crime rate is shot up through the roof. Even the offices, you know, big companies are closing down their location in San Francisco and moving out. So that's just going to nosedive. And can you see anything better coming from that? I can't. And that's the tip of the iceberg. I can see in America, and again, all my American subscribers will have a better view of it and better understanding than me. I can talk about all day about what happens in England because I'm originally from there and I see it with my own eyes. But America's such a vast place. I only know a fraction of what people are telling me, and it doesn't look good, sadly. And how can you return back from that? How can you recover from that? I don't know how it can be recovered from, but it's on its way down. Okay, let's have a look. 400k in bank, 500k pension, 55 years old. Do you think I'll be okay retiring there, Liz? Let's have a look. You've got 400k in the bank. Is that pounds or is that dollars? And a 500k pension. If that's pound or even if it's dollars, I would say hey, you're going to have a very, very good life over here on that type of money. As I say, I live a good life, and I'm on 55 to 60, 55,000 baht a month. That's what we live on, and we occasionally go up to 60,000 baht a month if we go out on holidays and things like that. So it depends what you want to do. If you eat Thai food, your budget can be cheaper. If you eat foreigner food, then your budget is going to be more expensive. If you like your alcohol, it's going to be more expensive. If you like eating out at 5-star restaurants, it's going to be expensive. Oh yeah, my wife just said, and if you like ladies, that becomes very expensive. It's so come here and have a look and make your own mind up. As I say, it's a beautiful place over here. Anything and everything is available over here, and it's a wonderful location. But I will always sing its praises because that's where I'm going to sing my days out, over there on my sofa and sleeping in this hammock here. With the view over there, that's where the sun rises every morning, and it's beautiful. Okay, let's have a look. Highlights just visited Bang San over the last 4 days. I was surprised by the amount of rubbish being washed up on the beaches. Yeah, sadly, some beaches are better looked after than others. Um, I've got to say, sometimes the Thais need a bit of education. I was on the boat coming back from Koh Samet to the mainland in Rayong, and the boat had rubbish bins all over the boat, everywhere. Every bait you could lash a rubbish bin was a rubbish bin was there. And there was a Thai guy had a bottle of water just like that, finished it off, threw it in the sea, and there was a bin right next to his foot where he threw it in the sea. Crazy, isn't it? So, but the worst place that I have ever found as far as rubbish and litter is India. Oh wow, India is just everywhere. But the thing is with Thailand, with the plastic, at least there's people who go around collecting the plastic bottles and collecting plastics up. Now with the beach, yeah, there's sort of a bit of a ruling over here that the beaches, any beach seller that's selling food on the beaches, every now and then they have to clean up the beach and get rid of all the rubbish and the litter. And especially when the Thais are, it's like this weekend, it's a long holiday weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so there is a lot of rubbish being left on the beach and things like that. Sadly, that's one of the things that's not perfect over here, but some of your top class beaches are cleaned up every single day. I've never really found it a problem. The beaches of course are met. They're beautiful. The beaches where we go to, the sort of three levels of beaches: not so clean, okay, and then pristine beaches, even where we live on the mainland. Um, but yeah, litter can be a bit of a problem over here. I'm not going to deny it. It is there, and it is what it is. But look beyond that for everything else. It's a small price to pay to live in paradise. All right, so let's have a look at this. Not a big driver, but like the ladies. Everybody likes ladies. Show that you want to use a local hospital instead of a private one. waiting time is long. Even if you have to pay for everything, it's also a good service. Now, again, private hospitals over here. My friend has used the public hospital, and I've got nothing but praise for it. Um, Sadly, he got diagnosed with dementia, and we took him to the hospital to get the diagnosis. And he's seen four doctors. He had a scan done of his brain. He had blood tests. He's had altogether about 4 or 5 hours in total, and the bill was 4,500 baht, and that was in a public hospital. He's had various. He stayed in a. He got TB, and he was in a public hospital for 5 days, and that cost him 50,000 baht for the treatment for the doctors and to stay in a public hospital for 5 days. So that's not a lot of money to pay when all's said and done. The treatment in the public hospitals, a lot of people knock it, but in reality, over here in Thailand, the doctors that work in the private hospitals have to do a certain amount of their time because it's the government that's trained them. They have to spend some of their hours as being a doctor in a public hospital. So there is one guy that I know that he went to the private hospital and they were going to do an operation, and he said, listen, I haven't got the money to do that. And the doctor said to him, well, go to the public hospital. He said, I'll do the operation there much, much cheaper. He says, because I work also at the public hospital. So he get the same operation for less than half the price at the public hospital by the same doctor. So when all's said and done, a doctor in a public hospital is still a doctor. So it's all to do with the different prices. Oh, Mr. Mitch. It's actually my 2-year anniversary of retiring Thailand. I arrived Friday the 13th of August, Phuket Sandbox. 2 years, wow, that's gone very, very quick. 2 years. I remember watching you as you arrived in the sandbox. And long may it last. Okay, let's have a look. And the jealous Thai boyfriend that pulled a gun in Silver Star, Go-Go, Soy 7, Patia killed 2 people on the beach, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there's also a soldier which killed a number of people in Terminal 21 in Karat. How many American guys have killed children in the schools in America? How many Americans have gone and killed people just for the sake of killing people with guns? This sort of things happens all over the world. It's not normal in Thailand, but yes, it does happen. Question: why would you put more than 1 million in Thai bank account? It's only covered by the Thai government for 1 million. Exactly, 100%. In England, you're covered up to £85,000 in a bank, but in a Thai bank, it's only the first million baht that's covered. So if you have 800,000 baht in a Thai bank account to cover for your retirement visa, then you're almost at the 1 million. And if they do change the rules so that you have to have 1.2 million in the bank account for your retirement visa, then actually you'll be recovered. You'll be okay for the first million if it's in the bank that goes bust. But what about the 200,000 baht? So that's what I'm saying. You know, it is. Is it going to go up to 1.2 million, or is it going to stay the same? As like one guy said here before, 20 years ago, it was 800,000 baht. 20 years ago. So, changes in the air. It might be for the better, it might be for the worse, but it's certainly not going to be impossible. So, cross that bridge when we come to it. Don't worry about it. It will be what it wants to be. You can imagine that the people 20 years ago, when they put it up to 800,000, I don't know what it was before then, but you can imagine the same conversation will have been happening 20 years ago. Oh, it's gone up to 800,000. How am I going to afford? Oh, here we are, 20 years down the road, and they're thinking about talking about it again. And in the meantime, your money's gone up, everybody's money's gone up, and there's always a way. The brown envelope just gets a little bit thicker. Okay, right, what else have we got here? Les, do I think the elite visa is worth it? Look at my eyes, absolutely not. I do a workaround for the elite visa. If you can spend 600,000 baht, I mean, the 5-year elite visa is going to be abolished on October the 1st. So there's no more 5-year elite visa. If you want an elite visa, it might be for the 10 or 20 years one. And I really haven't looked into that because that's far, far beyond the type of people that I deal with. I deal with ordinary, everyday, working class people who want to get here, bend the rules a little bit so they can afford to live here. If you can afford 1 million baht that you're just going to throw away and never ever get back, then I'm not the channel for you to watch. But my workaround, where the 5-year visa was 600,000 baht that you never ever got back, there's a workaround. You got almost the same as the elite visa, but you didn't get the nice, beautiful ladies and the gold coats meeting you as you get off the plane, and the golf cart through the immigration, and a taxi to your local hotel. So you got the service, but you didn't get the bells and whistles, and you didn't lose any money. And for the 5 years, I think at the time it was 35,000 baht for 5 years for the equivalent of the elite visa. And that was my workaround. And I've got to say, I had this agreement with Darren, sadly, who died in December from Key Visa. And so he never had to set foot in the immigration. Well, he had to do it just once a year, but even with the elite visa, you've still got to do it once a year. So I would say if you're over 50, there are easier and better ways to save you money. But if you're under 50, then the elite visa is the way to do it. Oh, little black flies flying all over the place. So yeah, the elite visa, if you're under 50, then yeah, there's not many options for that. But they're even changing the family law part of it with regard to the elite visa, because the Ruskies, because of the situation, what's going on, they're getting the elite visa and getting 4 or 5 of their family members over to live over in Thailand with them as well for like 10, 15 or 20 years by buying this elite visa. And they're looking into that, although it's not really stated about that. But if you're a single guy, 1 million baht compared to 4 or 5 members of your family for 1 million baht, that brings down the elite visa tremendously. So the Russians are taking advantage of that, and I don't think the Thai people are over the moon with that. So they are making changes to the elite visa for sure. But no, I would say if you've got that amount of money to throw away, send some my way, and I'll send you the details of how you can actually save an awful lot of money. In fact, you laugh at this. There's one guy from the elite who wanted an elite visa. He asked me for the information, and I said, "Send me $10 for a cup of coffee, and I'll give you the information." To save all of that money, it'll cost you 35,000 baht for the 5 years. And he said, "Oh, you've turned into an e-beggar." And I said, "Yeah, okay. If you don't want to spend $10, go and spend your 600,000 baht and get your elite visa for the 5 years." Crazy. $10. I'm an e-beggar. The information that I give, I do charge. If you want a consultant or talk with me for $10, and that's for an hour. And if you get the information you want, you pay $10. And if you don't get the information you want, then you don't pay. How fair is that? $10. It's less than the hours rate in America. And the information that you can get, I'm a mind of information. So for $10, I've had quite a few people who will pay that and have loved every single penny of it. The workarounds alone, which are all legal, are worth 10 times what you pay for that anyway. Anyway, okay, here we go. Let's see what else we got. I've actually lost track of the shootings in the United States. I don't think anybody knows the true figures. Yeah, Thailand is 1 million times safer than America. Right. The YouTuber All the Expat Life in Thailand made a video 3 days ago about the immigration office no longer issues the certificate of residency. Have you recently checked, and is that correct? No, a residency certificate is a residency certificate. There's no way around it. You've got to have a residency certificate to be able to buy a car, a motorbike, get a license, or do many things. So a residency certificate. So that's what the immigration is there for. The immigration office is there to prove to the people that you're buying a motorbike that this is your residency. This is a certificate to say that you are living there. This is what you pay the 500 baht for. But technically, it should be free. Technically, you should go in one day and they'll give you it the following day, and it's for free. But it's like everywhere else, the brown envelopes, if you want it today, it'll cost you 500 baht. Some people I know have got it for 200 baht, 300 baht. But 500 baht is sort of the general money that people pay for a residency certificate. So no, the immigration office should give you it because there's nowhere else you can get it. Sitting in Norway and listening to you. Oh, our Norwegian friend. Hello. Thanks very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Really, I did not know that, Les. Thanks for the update. I need to renew your visa workaround vlogs. Yeah, I've done a few. It's not difficult for the workarounds. I used to be a children's magician, and I used to do magic tricks type of thing. And when I learned how to do the magic tricks, the guy taught me. I used to watch him and think, oh, that's brilliant. How do you do that? That's really, really good. And then when they show you the secret of how it's done, the bubbles burst. So then it's like, well, why can't everybody see this? And it's the same with my workarounds. It's simple, and the simple things work. But it is so simple, and it doesn't break the law. It bends the law, but so does having a visa agent putting 800,000 baht in your bank account for 10 minutes and taking it back out. But the workarounds are more legal than the visa agents, and you're less likely to suffer any embarrassment if the immigration office at any time can look at your bank book and say, where's your 800,000 baht? Where's that gone? So my workarounds are more legit than the working arounds with the visa agents. But it's simple. It's like everything. It's simple and it's easy to do and it's not difficult. But some people still use the agents because even the workaround, it involves you have to do a little bit of work, but it's not difficult. And it'll save you 25, 30,000 baht a year. But it's everybody. It's simple. I've only ever used an agent once in the 11 years I've been here. I've only ever used an agent once, and after I used the agent and I paid him his money, he told me I didn't have to use him because there was a way of doing it without using him. But that was 8 or 9 years ago. But I became a good friend to Darren from Key Visa, and I had many interesting conversations with Darren with regard to visas and bending the law and getting around the system without actually breaking the law. Frank travels working illegally. Okay, what's this working illegally question mark? Oh, hang on, my battery said it's, what's going on with that? Oh, it's just coming up saying battery saver. I thought my battery was about to go off, but no, I've plugged it back in. Oh, what's this about? Oh, what's going on here? I was having something playing in the background. Working illegally. Working illegally. Who's working illegally? That's a banging deal, Les. I'm at the point of pulling the parachute cord. Only thing keeping me here is my Labrador dog. Yeah, dogs, animals can be a big tie, and there's a couple of people bringing their dogs with them over to Thailand. It's very, very hot for a dog over here. Um, we don't, as much as I like dogs, I'd love a dog, but I don't want the tie of an animal keeping. We love our holidays, and if you have a dog or a cat or an animal, it just ties you down to the house. And so yeah, we'll stroke other people's dogs, but we can give them back. It's like kids. It's good to give kids back to the original owners. Right, have a look. Hi Les, I've been off to do some research. Thailand has double the murder rate of the UK. Thailand is 2.58 people per 100k. UK is 1.2 100k. But the Philippines is much higher, figure of 6.61. Okay, well that's shocking. That's news to me then. Um, that's news to me. Okay, thanks very much for the info. But it's still pretty low, isn't it? I mean, one murder is one murder too many. I'll come on to a little thing that I watched on the news the other day, which is shockingly bad, absolutely shocking. And it doesn't get much publicity because if you publicise something like this, it just gets worse. But I'll come on to that in a minute. Let me have a look at reading some of the other comments on there. Highest rates in Central and Southern America and Caribbean. Yeah, Darren sadly missed. He was a nice guy. He knew his stuff. He was Mr. Visa, and he used to give his info at the expats club in Patia, and we had many good conversations. Nice guy. Yeah, Jamaica. When I went to the Bahamas, well, I didn't go to the Bahamas. I wanted to go to the Caribbean, but I didn't want to stay in a five-star hotel where you weren't allowed to go because it's too dangerous to go outside. Jamaica, Barbados, that type of thing. So I went to Tobago, which was fantastic. Felt safe there, even though the crime rate was quite high there. But would I go to Barbados or Jamaica? Stunningly beautiful as it is, with the nice sea, palm trees, and white sands, you don't get any of that. You can go anywhere you want in the whole of Thailand. But Jamaica and Barbados, you can't go outside the resort because you're going to get robbed or murdered or raped or things like that. So you want to go to that place, as beautiful as it is, five-star resort, but in reality, you're in a big prison. Thailand, there's none of that. Anyway, I can't really say because I haven't been to Barbados or Jamaica to check it out, but just reading the statistics meant to say that I'm not going to spend my money to go to Barbados or Jamaica. Tobago was lovely, but I'm sure even Tobago one day will become not a safe place to go to. Swings and roundabouts, you know, statistically wise, Thailand is much safer than a lot of other countries around the world. It's not perfect, but then nowhere is perfect, is it? Unless you've got the money to pay for perfection, which we don't. Uh, Popping white standing. Les, I would like to consult with you. We look at what your contact info discuss specifics. And yes, dogs are God's gift, but they are an anchor. But they are and forever loving. A dog is forever loving. If you put the wife in the trunk of a car, left her there for an hour, open the trunk, she's going to swear and shout at you. A dog will just wag its tail. A dog is forever loving, will always be there. You go out the house 5 minutes and he's so welcoming to come back. Dogs are wonderful. Dogs are a man's best friend for that reason, because they're forever loving and give that feeling. In fact, I had a friend who jokingly at his wedding reception said, if I'd discovered the dog before I discovered the wife, he said, I wouldn't be married now, I'd just have a dog. She didn't quite like what he said about the dog. Okay, so like to, yeah, you've got my email address. If not, I'll put my email address down here again. Just send me an email and we can have a chat. 58 at yahoo.com. So anybody wants a chat or anything, just send me an email and we'll arrange for a chat. I've done it a few people and it works. Okay, can you tell us about private finance for dwellings in Thailand? Interest? Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about that. Hang on a minute. Buying a used car in Thailand is as easy to get a garage check as it's a good buy or not. I'm no mechanic and I need to help no safe mechanic. Yep. Okay, to answer them two things, private finance to buy a house. Now it is possible. Usually the big developers can do it. I did a video of where we almost bought a 1.3 million baht house, and that was on a finance with a company for 7 years. And we were going to do that, but then we got offered this house by the landlady on the private finance. So we borrowed the money off the landlady and we paying her, and we're happy that she helped facilitate that. We also got offered a house on a big development with over 400 houses, and there also we're going to finance the deal. And the money is always going to be in the Thai girl's name. So basically, you pay what you'd pay rent, but over a period of years, and that usually anywhere between 5 and 8 years. And some of the big building companies will allow that. Same with some condos in the Patias or Bangkok or big developments. They're a little bit more flexible with regard to private finance, but it does cost a little bit more money. But at the end of the day, there are ways and means around it. And it's the same as when you want to buy a car. It's called rent to buy. So my first car that I bought in Thailand was a rent to buy car where I rented it, and on the last payment that I paid, it became my car. And there are companies that do that also with motorbikes. So you can have a brand spanking new motorbike on a rent to buy agreement, and then at the end of the payment, it becomes yours. So I did a video. BP Car Rentals in Patia does this rent to buy system. It's way back on my videos, but it's something it's called How to Buy a Car in Thailand. But it's on my videos, and I go through the system of how it works. And he still does it now. He has about 150 cars in stock, and you you rent the car off him a week so you can drive around in the car. Then if you're happy with it, that money is deducted off the price of the car eventually, and then you just take over you sign an agreement with him. But you do have to be on a retirement visa. You can't do it on a tourist visa. You have to have a retirement or a marriage visa to be able to buy it. And then you rent it off for him for 12, 24, 30, 48, I think even 60 months he does it over to buy the car. And then once you pay the last payment, the car gets transferred over to you. And in reality, it's good financial business and sense for him, because if you miss the payment, he just takes the car back, and because he's already registered in his name. He's got insurance, so if you steal it, then he just claims against the insurance. So he's on a win-win situation, but it's also a way for you to be able to buy a car here without actually getting financed. Yes, it costs her a bit more money, but then it's not into a Thai person's name, so then she isn't going to steal your car off you because it's all in your name. So that's the way around the house with the private finance. We looked at maybe 10 or 15 houses, and in reality, we only got the offer of three private finance deals. The person has to be wealthy, or the person has to be agreeable to that. And for like a 10 years, you won't get nothing over a 10-year period, but you might get something over between 5 and 8 years or something like that. But it's worth asking the question. We drove around lots of properties that were for sale, and we rang the people up. Listen, we can't go to the bank and get the money from the bank because my wife's not working because she's living with me. So if we do a private rent to buy, would you be interested? Some of them said no, some of them said yes, but we want to pay over 2 or 3 years, which would have stretched me financially wise. So, but anyway, we got this deal on a private finance deal. So it can happen. There are ways and means around here. It might not be your first choice, but it is possible, that's for sure. you always get naysayers regarding you get the naysayers for everything, you know. Thailand doesn't want people like me, working class people, because Thailand needs the high soul people. High soul people don't like me because for them I'm low soul. You either like me or you don't like me. It just goes over my head now, type of thing. You know, you could be the nicest person in the world. Somebody's not going to like you. I like to think, if you know, when people give negative comments and things like that, it's a balanced view. I'm not always right. I'm not correct in everything that I say, and everybody's got their own opinion. So it helps me get a balanced view when people have a different opinion to me. And it's, you know, if anybody, you can leave any opinion you want. But if it's offensive, then I've got the power of the finger to delete and block you, type of thing. So I never ever give bad comments or bad feedback to anybody whatsoever, and I expect the same thing done to me. I understand if people have a different point of view, different opinion, you're entitled to it. Blah, blah, blah. So I've been come to Thailand since 91, and I've never been murdered. Now that's good. That's brilliant. Good to see you're still alive. I'm not in touch with the other side yet. Thank you. Okay, Thailand and UK. I'm not high so low so. I'm just so so. Yeah, I'm so so. Okay, here we go back to this one. This is appalling. It is shocking. It is way. It's how the Western countries are going. This was on the news this morning, and it really not worried me because I don't live there anymore. But it's just shocking to see how easily this can happen. And it's already happening in America. And usually, what happens in America goes to UK and Australia and everywhere like this. But the police got wind of a robbery. Somebody on TikTok says, meet at the JD spot, wherever, I think it was London, some sports shop, big sports shop in London. And the TikTok says an event is going to happen, say at 10 o'clock in the morning, and come with ski masks and gloves, and we're going to raid the store. This was on TikTok, and there were hundreds of people there. And there's a guy who was a YouTuber who films himself just walking into people's houses, just films walking around, open. Oh, here I am, and walking in somebody's house just for the fun of it. He was there. Whether it was him who organised it, I don't know, but the police have a lot of terrible things with him because he does so many bad things, type of thing. And this sort of thing, there was hundreds of people there. It actually, the store didn't get robbed because the police were there. They got wind of it, but they had police presence there all day because this one guy, obviously a fake account, but do you see what I mean? The seeds are there. We're going to rob this store, and if there's 50 or 100 people are going to walk in and steal whatever they can get, 2 or 3 people might get caught, but 100 people ain't going to get caught, especially if you've got the masks on. This is the level of crime which is going on in England. It's already going on in America. And like if you can rob legally, if it's under $950, you're not even going to get prosecuted for it. So this is the things that's going to happen because of lawlessness in our countries, the Western world. You know, the Western world's at one time when I was very young, everybody wanted to live in America. Everybody wanted to live in the Western world because you got your big fridge, your big car, your big everything. But now, no, give me a poor country. We've got no social security here. We've got no free benefits. Everybody here works. If you don't work, you die. And who's got it right? The Western world, who give everybody benefits, so they spend it on drugs and crack and robbery and stuff like that, and rob other people, even though they get money to live on, free housing, free social security, but they still commit crime. This country, you get nothing. If you don't work, you get nothing. Family look after family, and the crime is nowhere near as bad as it is in the Western world. So who's got it right? Yeah. Oh, these little. Oh, sorry for scratching my nose, but there's these tiny, tiny little. Because the humidity is quite high today, but these little flies are flying about all over the place. Yeah, I like so. Who lays? I might get chicken for Sunday roast. Oh, chicken Sunday roast dinners, roast lamb. You can get lamb here, but Ploy doesn't like it. She doesn't like lamb. She doesn't like the smell of lamb. But I love the smell of lamb. Roast dinners with Yorkshire puddings and roast potatoes, roast vegetables. I've got green curry for my meal tonight. Is a green curry. I like Western food every now and then. So if we go to Patia, I eat Western food, and it's lovely because there's so much choice in Patia for Western food, and it's not expensive because there's a lot of competition in Patia for Western food and for Westerners to eat the food. But over here in Rayong, you can still get Western food, but it's a little bit more hard to find. But it's there. But I would say if you want Western food, cook it yourself. So look, the insurrection in London was crazy, but J6 was an issue with grannies walking through the black velvet ropes of the US Capitol. It's crazy. It's crazy. The world. It's crazy how the world are going. Would you recommend Jomtien as a good place to start out, getting to know the ropes before moving to less populated areas like down where you live in Rayong or up in Isan? Phuket is too expensive. Jomtien, I lived in Jomtien for 2 years and I loved it. Um, it's got everything you want. It's a little bit outside of the madness. Um, but the lady that we helped buying the condo, when she first looked about coming to Thailand, she looked at Jomtien and there was some estate agent said, we'll show you some places in Jomtien. And when she came, we picked her up from the airport. We brought her to Rayong, and we showed her around Rayong. We showed her around the area that we like, and she loved it. And I said, "You've got to go to Jomtien because at the end of the day, you looked at Jomtien. You need to get it in your own mind what Jomtien is like." So I said, "We'll take you to Jomtien for the night, and then you can draw your own opinion." Now, the budget she had, Rayong, she got more than what she expected, but in Jomtien, the budget wouldn't stretch to what she wanted at all. And so some of the apartments we just ticked off the list because they tried to send us to apartments that were like 500,000 baht over a budget anyway. So even if you negotiated down that 500,000 baht, it was still on the top end of the budget, and she still needed a car and things like that and pay the legal bills. So, but we looked. I won't say where it is because the defamation laws in Thailand are very, very strong. But I won't say the condo where we looked at, but it was 74 square meters, 2 bedroomed, 2 bathroom condo. And this Russian lady that showed us around was saying, it's beautiful. I lived there myself. She said, it is stunningly beautiful. She said, you'll be very, very surprised with it and you'll love it. So it was a bit of a risque walk to get to the condo, if I put it like that, especially for a woman living here on her own. It was just like as soon as you walked in the location, all the eyes were like that to the lady that we were showing around because she was a white American lady. So all the guys were just like that. So straight away, that was a no. But they opened the door of this condo, and the smell that greeted you on the opening of the condo door, it was just like you just didn't want to walk any further into the condo, and the smell was disgusting. How not to sell an apartment really should be in the video. I could make a video for that on how not to sell an apartment. The room was unkept. It looks as if somebody just moved out of it that morning. All the bed sheets were undone. The paint on the ceiling of a little veranda had all fell down on the floor. That the veranda had never been cleaned, and it overlooked because it was the second floor. It overlooked tin sheeting. And the lady said, "Oh, don't worry about that. You'll get used to that. You'll get used to the view, because that view is better than overlooking the pool, which is noisy, because it's very, very noisy here." So she said, if you overlook at the swimming pool, you'll hear the noise all day. But at least if you look over the tin sheeting of the roof, it's very, very, very quiet. We says, "No, it's okay. It's not for us. But you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. It's worthwhile living here. I lived here for a long time," she said. And we said, "Okay, no, thank you." So at least we had a drive around Jomtien. There are some beautiful condos in Jomtien, but I would say just rent. Um, One of the nicest condos that I stayed in there is a place called Chateau Dale, which is beautiful. It's just off the main. It's just on the main road, the BART bus route. So you get the BART bus into Patia if you want for 10 baht. So Chateau Dale, have a look at that. And it's like an older building there. It's next to Vutalay 2 and the bus station in Jomtien. Beautiful. You will not be disappointed with living there if you want to have a look in Jomtien. But Jomtien is changed since I was there. But for getting your feet wet, coming to Thailand, Jomtien is a good location for sure. Okay, where else have we got here? Right. Ping Ping 7-Eleven, Thai food for me. Yeah, Kelly has discovered 7-Eleven. My wife loves 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is open 24 hours a day. So if you're ever hungry, and 7-Eleven, you fall over every 7-Eleven. You know, they're just everywhere. And the food for 40 baht, which is just $1.40. So if you're hungry, where could you go and get something to eat for $1.40 in America? And we call it ping ping food because it's microwave. And they even warm it up for you in 7-Eleven. So you can actually have it warmed up, come home and eat your dinner. We've converted Kelly into ping ping 7-Eleven food. It's full of preservatives, but if it's going to keep your food healthy, it's going to keep you healthy, isn't it? Because the preservatives go into your body. No, I'm a 7-Eleven fan. 7-Eleven's good. The coffee is really, really good in 7-Eleven. And I did a video about, could this be the best view from a 7-Eleven shop in Patia, and it's near the Five Buddha Temple. Stunning views. We sat outside that 7-Eleven drinking a cup of coffee with a view that was like $1 million, and it was just like, and the coffee was 25 baht. So yeah, Patia, is this the best 7-Eleven view in the whole of Thailand? Give that a watch. Oh yeah. Right, let's have a look. Mr. Who, fair point. Thailand, great place to visit. I've always had 7-Eleven food on hand for midnight cravings. Yeah, my wife. Yeah, when we go on holiday or we go anywhere, we always call it 7-Eleven first. We have our breakfast at 7-Eleven, and she has. There's usually a chicken shop that sells chicken outside the 7-Eleven. But I like the burgers. The double burger is 42 baht. Cheeseburger, spicy burger, about 40 odd baht, cheaper than going to McDonald's. And it's just as nice. It really is. If they did French fries in 7-Eleven, that would just be magic. For a bottle of water, I remember getting a bottle of water like this in England. It was £1.29. Over here, it's like 10 baht or less than 10 baht, which is 25 pence, something like that, for a small bottle of water. If you come to Thailand and you're used to American prices or Australian, New Zealand, English prices, the first thing that'll shock you is at how cheap everything is here. For the food, for the everyday things is so cheap over here. It's a wonderful place. The problem with renting lays is inflation. As you're going to be there for a while, you start a low rental, but prices go up. But pensions don't always keep up. Looking to buy, then the future proof of funds. Yeah, is a way. I mean, we lived in this house for 5 years before we bought it, and our rent was the same price as it was when we rented it 5 years ago. And there's an English couple that I know that rented a house, and they've been in the same house for 10 years. And I understand the rent has never got up for 10 years. The landlady is happy with what she gets, and so that her prices have never gone up. Some people put the prices up, but sometimes if you're a good tenant, you'll probably still pay the same price after 10 years as you do when you first moved in. Um, but the beauty of renting is that, you know, if you're sick of the place or you get some bad neighbours, then you can just move somewhere else. And if you like travelling around, I mean, I've travelled all over the place. I've loved me travelling, but now this is the place that I call home because we can. This is our base. We can go on holidays, and it's like let's say 1,000 baht for a hotel room for the night. That's like you know, 20-25 pound for quite a nice room anywhere in Thailand. So you can go anywhere for 25 quid a night, and it's lovely. I mean, Kelly, the lady that we're helping to buy a house here, she's renting a studio apartment, beautiful studio apartment in the centre of Banpei for 8,000 baht a month. 8,000 baht a month plus electricity and water. Um, but what could you get for 8,000 baht a month? What's 8,000? 200 quid a month, is it? Something like that? Yeah, just short of £200 a month. What would you get in your country? It's a beautiful apartment, studio. Fantastic deal to be had here. But if you live in the expensive places such as Phuket, then you're going to pay top-notch prices to live in a beautiful location. But Chiang Mai, Pai, Chiang Rai, up in the mountains, it's even cheaper to live there than it is to live here. But then they have the burning season for 2 or 3 months of the year, which isn't very pleasant. And a lot of people complain about because of the poor air quality. But yeah, come and have a look. Martin Bonner, toasted sandwiches are the best for semi. uh, Toasted sandwiches, yeah. We used to run a coffee shop when I first came here. We used to run a coffee shop, and the guy that told me to buy the coffee shop ran 270 Nero coffee shops in the UK. And he said to me, location, 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 Les. Anywhere near there's where you travel for trains, buses, planes, things like that. He said, taxi offices. He said, that's good for location. So we had 4 taxi offices near our coffee shop, and I thought, fantastic. Location, location, ticks all of them boxes. But what wasn't mentioned is that at the end of our road was a 7-Eleven. And at the time, we were selling our coffees at 45 baht. 7-Eleven sold their coffees for 20 baht. The toasty sandwiches that we did were 45 baht. The toasty sandwiches that 7-Eleven did were 20 baht. So people were more inclined to buy 7-Eleven coffee and a toasty sandwich and sit in the taxi offices. So we made a living, but not a good living. So little word of warning, if you're going to set a business up selling food, don't do it near a 7-Eleven because 7-Eleven will always win. But there you go. Let's have a look. Hi Les, have you ever considered getting your pension paid into a Thai bank account? See some people do, wondering if the pros and cons. Question again, do you get any benefit? No, I don't get any, but you get nothing at all here. You get absolutely nothing. You actually have to pay to live here in Thailand. That's what I'm saying. I do it legally, but I have to pay. I mean, this is how expensive it is to live in Thailand. To get the visa, so all of these people who say it's difficult to get a visa, it is absolutely ridiculous. 1,900 baht a year to get my marriage visa. That's all it costs. 1,900 baht a year for my marriage visa. And for those who want the retirement visa, it's the exorbitant price of 1,900 baht if you do everything that Thailand wants you to do. So is that expensive? 1,900 baht? 50, 60 pounds? That's all it is a year? It's chicken feed. It's absolutely nothing. So no, we don't get any benefits here. We have to pay to live here, and if we break the laws, we get thrown out of here. But the laws are not excessively difficult to live here. To live the normal way in Thailand isn't too difficult. They don't ask for too much. So that's the price of a retirement visa here, 1,900 baht. Marriage visa to live here on a yearly visa, 1,900 baht. Cheap as chips. My pension, thankfully, I'm not old enough yet to claim my state pension from England. I've still got another just over 3 years to wait for that. But my private pension, I get paid into my Barclays bank account, which then I transfer over to TransferWise, and then TransferWise sends it over to my Thai bank account at a better rate than what my bank would send it over. So if I send over £1,300, it costs me £8 to send £1,300 to Thailand. So that's my total cost of sending money from England over to Thailand. About £1,300, about £8 for that amount of money. It obviously goes up or down depending on if you're sending any more or anything less. But with Wise, TransferWise, it's called Wise now. At the beginning of the month, on the first of the month, it might take a day to send through, but any other day but the first or the last day of the month, it's there within 5 seconds. I just had a little transfer sent over the other day. It took 5 seconds once I pressed the button to transfer the money over to Wise from my Barclays bank account. 5 seconds later, I got a bleep on my phone. The money was in my Thai bank account. So easy to do. All right, so look. $179, $228 for a studio per month. Yeah, there you go, 179. Thanks for doing the conversion. Usually I have my iPad and I do all the conversions on there. But yeah, what could you get in your country for that amount of money? And it's a fantastic place. Again, Kelly's done a video on the apartment that she's actually living on in Banpais. So for those new people who've just come to have a look, I'm helping an American lady move over to Thailand. She's actually buying a condo over here. She lived in San Francisco, one of the wealthiest cities in the whole of America, and she doesn't feel safe there anymore. So now she's actually moving over here to Thailand, and her YouTube channel is Her Expat Retirement. Have a look at that. She's an American lady moving halfway around the world to live in a different country because she feels much safer here than she does in America. She's done a few videos with regard to that, and I wish her every success. And we've driven all over the place, and I've showed her some of the bad parts of Rayong where I think it's run down, and she said that's nothing in comparison to San Francisco. So have a look at her videos, have a look at her channel, subscribe, help her along the way, because she's going to do loads of videos on about how you can retire over to here in Thailand, because she's done it. She's pulled the trigger. She's a pioneer, I think, for many other ladies who would like to come and live over here in Thailand. And it's not just for men. It's a fantastic place to live for, whether you're a man or you're a woman. Men, it's a little bit biased towards men because it's like a nice place for a man to live here. It is a man's world, without a doubt. But also, the ladies can have an equally good time over here as well as the guys. So let's have a look. If you had a bigger pension, it might make more sense to rent. Well, it depends. It's the money. You live by what money you have, and you make the choices with the money that you have, and it's up to you whether or where you want to stay and how you can budget your money. But your money does certainly go further over here than it does anywhere else that I found anyway. Yeah, she's in the chat. Yeah, I've seen her. She's in there. She's watching. Helping me numbers. I'm sure she. If you haven't, Kelly, give me a tick. I've got 79 thumbs up at the minute, and 87 people are still looking. And we're at 2 hours and 14 minutes. So my longest vlog that I did, or my longest live stream, was almost, well, 3 3/4 hours. I don't think I'll be going for that long today because I can feel my throat going already. I've done nothing but talk. Me and Kelly put the world to rights over the past week and well, just over a week that she's been here. Fantastic lady, fantastic what she's doing, I think, and I think she'll be a pioneer for many other ladies coming here to Thailand. So I plan on renting in Thailand, not buying. I want the flexibility to move on, so I plan to rent out my house in here, living off the rent money, keeping the investment back home. What do you think? It's a fantastic idea. It is a good idea because then you've got the income, and I know people who've done that, rent the houses out in the UK and living here. It's a good idea because who knows what's going to happen. I mean, sadly, through my divorce, I lost everything in the UK, so I've got nothing to go back to the UK for. I've got nothing at all. I've got no house. I've got nothing in the UK. So this is why I live here. Many people have asked me if I get a critical illness where I'm gonna die of an illness or something like that, would I go back to England? No, I wouldn't. This is my resting place here, or on that hammock just there, overlooking the sunrise here. I'll see my days out here. If I get a terminal illness, that's the word I was looking for, a terminal illness, why do I want to go back to the UK? I'd hate it going back there, especially knowing I'm going to die there, just to prolong my life. I've had a good life up to now. I've got to say, I've had a fantastic life up to now. And we're all going to die one day, so why would I want to extend my life living in a country that I didn't want to live in? I've got no where to live, so it cost me a fortune to live anywhere. If I'll end up in a nursing home, I can live in a nursing home here, which I haven't even mentioned this subject about the assisted living. Wow, there we go. Been talking of many things, but the assisted living. I've done a couple of videos on assisted living. I'll see me days out here and pay somebody 15 to 20,000 baht a month to look after me. Far cheaper than what I could do with in England. So going on to that, see how you can get lost in try. I didn't even have that wrote down on my bit of paper. Assisted living over here. I'm going to do a video on how you can buy a one or two bedroom condo and have somebody take care of you 24 hours a day for less than half the price that it would cost in England, and then your family still have the condo at the end of the period when you eventually pass. And there's ways and means of doing that and living a better life at the end of your days than living in the UK. But this is going to be another video, but it is totally and utterly possible. You can get a live-in carer for about 10 to 15,000 baht a month. You can get a medically qualified person to look after you for 24 hours a day for 35 to 40,000 baht a month. Now, 40,000 baht a month is less than £1,000 a month. It costs you £1,000 per week in England, and you don't get 24-hour one-to-one care. You're in a nursing home with lots of other people, and you do not get the one-to-one care that you get here for 40,000 baht a month. Somebody's living with you 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, you've got the possibility of care, if you want it, by a medically qualified person. And your family still get to own the condo that they can sell afterwards, so you don't lose any part of your property in England. It's like now, if you lived in care and you have £500,000 house in the UK, they will take the money off you. They won't make you sell the house until you die, but they will take every single penny off you up to £23,500, where there's ways and means where you can live over here and the final days of your life or final years of your life in a peaceful, much more caring environment and situation than you could ever do in the UK. And you don't lose the family inheritance, and your family will benefit from it, that they don't lose all of their all the money that you're going to lose through the house and property. But I'm going to do another video on that, and I'm going to do a sort of facts and figures and how it can be done. And you know me, I think out the box. There are ways and means of doing it, and you can live out the final years of your life in a much more happy, contented feeling, and feeling that any money that you've saved up all of them years doesn't go to the government. That's a whole new video, but assisted living over here is a fantastic way of doing it. And like as I say, a fully medically qualified person to look after you 24 hours a day for less than £1,000 per month. It just doesn't make sense, does it? You could never do that in England. Anyway, there we go. So look, Mr. Ellis, do you still have a? No, I don't have a. I've got nothing at all in the UK. I still have a UK bank account. Yeah, I've been told that you still need a. Sort of, yeah. I'm registered for my postal address. I use my sister's address for any, but I do everything online with the banking. And I told Barclays Bank that my postal address is my sister's house. So that's the only really person that has a my fire brigade pension and Barclays Bank are the only two people that I've ever kept in touch with regard to my postal address. And Barclays Bank are okay with that. But even if that was the case, my pension provider, which will be the fire brigade, they'll send my pension over here direct to Thailand. I don't pay anything in England. I've got a credit card in England for emergencies. That's my emergency flight home. If I need to spend up to £1,000 for a flight, emergency flight to get me back to England, if anything happened, wherever, that's the only thing. But that's with me Barclays bank account. So yeah, I wouldn't even worry. There's always a way. It might not be the most prudent way or the cheapest way, but there's always a way. You will get your money sent to here to Thailand if you so require it. But there's many people who said I'm not entitled to NHS treatment, and that's correct. Once you've been out of England for more than 6 months, supposedly you're on the waiting list for 2 years. I still pay taxes in the UK from my fire brigade pension. So in my mind, I should be still entitled to a little bit of something in the UK because I'm still paying my taxes, but I'm not taking any advantage from it. Where if I arrived on a rubber boat from France, I get everything thrown at me. But that's been political again. But, you know, I should be allowed a little bit of something. And hopefully I never, ever will have to ask for that little bit of something. And like I said, I'm seeing my days out on that sofa or this hammock at the back of me here. This is where I'm going to see my days out. So I will not be a burden on the NHS system. There's a lot. So I don't have any address in the UK, but I have a bank account there. And the main bugbear is that Thailand destroy any debit card or bank card sent. Well, I've got 2 new bank cards sent from the UK. One took 7 months to get here, 7 months. And because it wasn't here within 2 weeks, I'd cancelled it because it had gone missing in the post. And I got a new one, and my sister sent it recorded delivery, and I got it here within a week. And they don't break up your credit card because nobody knows what's in the envelope. And so yeah, I've got 2 credit cards in the 11 years that I've been living here that have been sent. One was lost, and the other one came within a week because it was recorded delivery. But that was £12 to send it from UK to here, recorded delivery. Now that's expensive. Anyway, so that's that. And Les, you care in the LTC facility with it far better than what you could expect in the US or UK. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, I could go into many stories with looking around the nursing homes, because when I was a firefighter, we had to inspect the nursing homes. We had to go and make sure the fire doors with the self-closing devices open, that it was the fire extinguishers are being serviced. And a nursing home exactly isn't a pretty sight. And it's not that as young firefighters, we looked at that and we thought, is this what old age has got to bring us? Is why I live the life that I live, because one day I may end up like that. And to give you sort of a little look into it, I've got a really good Australian friend who was the same age as, he's actually 3 days older than me. But we had a joint 55th birthday party in Patia. In Patia, yes. So you can imagine what it was like. We were in a bar, and right next door to us was a massage parlour full of girls. It was one of them parties. It was a fantastic, beautiful start at 6 o'clock at night, finish 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was a blast. I've never ever had a party like it, and I never ever will have a party like it ever again. He was the life and soul of the party. He was such an entertaining guy, funny, hilarious, and now he's got dementia, and he doesn't know what happened yesterday, and he can't even remember the joint 55th birthday party. So retire when you can, live as long as you can, do whatever you want whilst you can, because we never know what's around the corner. He lives a Groundhog Day every day, because every day to him is just the same. And it's sad to see, because I remember the 55th birthday party, he was the life and soul of the party. So live it while you can. All right, so retiring 2 days at the age of 48. Oh, well done. I managed at 50, and I was lucky to retire at 50. I retired on my 50th birthday, so retiring at 48. Well done, sir. Well done. Good for you. Yeah, looking forward to your life in time. Yeah, you'll have to wait another 2 years before you get the retirement visa, because you can't get that before 50. But you can travel around at retirement, travel around. Them 2 years will pass like that. Very, very good. Waiting list in the NHS 7 million. Yeah, exactly. So I could have a terminal illness, but it might take 6 months for somebody to look at me in the UK. And I can get the same diagnosis over here of a terminal illness. So I'll just say, give me the pills, potions, lotions, or whatever to stop any of the pain. And there's me resting place. There, I've got no fear of death. Death is going to come to us all, but it's how you get there. And I want to go out there kicking, screaming, and fighting. And I have the memories in there of what I did all my life, good memories, as opposed to just sitting there and doing nothing and no memories. When I die, I want to owe the bank £1. Then I know I've spent my money wisely. If I don't owe the bank £1, it means there's £1 left and I haven't spent all of my money. Because you can't take it with you, that's for sure, and other people are going to spend it for you. Just visited the Rayong Beach area and south of the fishing village. Just loved it. Yeah, it's a lovely place, Rayong. Private memory unit was fighting. I'm mainly moving to Thailand for the good. Caregivers later when I need. Oh yeah, Kelly. Yeah, Kelly's looked into this for. In fact, that's how she found my video with regard to the assisted living, and we've sort of become good friends. And you know, she's really done her research. So if you want to ask the questions with regard to assisted living and things like that, although I've done a couple of videos, and I've got to say it's very difficult for me. I'm still getting doors closed into my face with regard to assisted living. The videos that are out there to look at assisted living in Thailand, but that I mentioned that I'm on YouTube and I want to visit it and I want to come look at it, and it's just like I'm met with big barriers, as if you don't want to come here. And I can understand that also, because I've visited nursing homes, and like another guy said there, they are not a pretty sight. So therefore, maybe they're scared in case I'm going to write something bad, but I would never write anything bad, because why just write nothing at all as opposed to write anything bad? But Kelly's gone the way of looking and making provisions that if you're sick and old, then you can afford somebody to live with you. And like I said, for 40 to 45,000 baht a month, that is a medically qualified person who can look after you and take care of you. So it just makes sense. It just makes sense to look at that direction as well. As in, if you've got your own condo or apartment or even house, it just makes even more sense. Why give the governments of our Western countries the money for worse care than what you can get over here? But again, that is sort of going down a rabbit hole with regard to assisted living. I've got quite a few videos in mind and on how you can do this, save yourself a fortune, and I'm going to come up with lots of prices and alternative ways of financing and funding this in Thailand. And I'm quite excited about doing it because I think out the box, and there are many ways of doing it. And of course, it saves you from giving the money to the government, which nobody likes doing. Or if somebody likes doing it, leave it in the comments to say, yes, I want to give all my money to the government because they're going to take really, really good care of me. I'll sit in here for hours and wait for that comment because I don't think it'll ever come. My bank sent my debit card to me, but I never got it. Well, as I said, you know, they didn't destroy it. It took 7 months to get here. Where it got sent, but the package had never been opened. It was still sealed up, and my sister sent it. But I didn't get it for 7 months, but I got the replacement after 2 weeks because he did it, recorded delivery. Another drink of water. So 73 in the house today still, and we've got 85 thumbs up, which is good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all those people. 2.5 hours we're at now, and my second bottle of water, and I can feel my voice still going. So just as a matter of fact, with the 71 people that we've still got here, how many people would be interested in looking at assisted living and my methods of actually doing it, where you can, it's going to cost you some money, but living in an accommodation in America or Australia or England is going to cost you money. But I can show you a way where you can do it for, if not half, maybe, if not quarter, but maybe half the amount of money, and you get a better standard of care living over here by thinking outside of the box. And you know, it also helps your family because they know you're going to get well looked after, and you're not going to lose any money. And that's the whole biggest part of it, you know. So for those people who leave a message in the comment or send me an email saying that you'd like to know more information, that gives me an indication as to how many people want to go down this route. Because my last video that I did with regard to assisted living, over 10,000 views. So that to me, I'm a small channel, so 10,000 views is to me is a big indicator as to people want to know a little bit more about it. But then I have other people, other YouTubers, who tell you where the best pizza and cup of coffee is, and they get like 15,000 views on where you get a pizza. You know, if you want me to do a video where you can get a pizza in a nursing home or assisted living home, I'm just being silly now. David, thank you very much for the super chat. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Wow, that's all I can say. That's a few cups of coffee then. The wife will enjoy it because she benefits from this as well, because she gets some food and a coffee as well. So thank you very much. And as I said, if you want to know any information, just send me an email and I'll give you whatever information you've got. Again, I do the $10 chats. It's not $10. And if I'm talking to you for an hour or it's 2 hours, it's still $10. I do it because $10, you know, I'm retired, and I've had people who have sat and talked to for an hour or 2 hours, and it all takes away my time. $10 goes towards you know, the videos and the equipment I have to buy and things like that. So I'm not really making a lot of money from this. And YouTube, it gives me, I make about $100 a month, but take out without the subscriptions and the time and things like that. Here I have now, I've been 2.5 hours, and a couple of people give me super chats, and thank you very much for that. But the information that I give is invaluable to some people, and they'll save hundreds of thousands of baht. And that's the whole idea of that. I'm doing the channel, not really to make money. You know, if it pays for a few little coffees and things like that. That's fantastic. But the money that I've saved, I mean, ask Kelly. Kelly is like an ambassador of how much money I've probably saved in the week or so that we've known each other, and it will come into a lot of thousands of baht, because talking to somebody who knows the system and who knows the people that know what to go on. You know, there's some other unscrupulous. I mean, she told me how much an agent was going to charge her in Jomtien to show her around, and it's nowhere near what I've told her, you know, that she can save money on. Anyway, that's another story. But I'm blowing my own trumpet here, that's for sure. But thank you very much, and I hope the information is helpful to everybody. I would love to know more about the assisted living. Thanks very much. Yes, I would like the video. Brilliant. Yeah, for the future I meant. Yeah, exactly. If I got to the point of needing care, then I think 4 bottles of vodka and a dinghy ride into the sunset. Well, you need 5. You need an emergency just in case 4 isn't enough. Yeah, your last video about assisted living was great. I watched it for several times. Thanks very much for that. It's brilliant to hear the feedback for that. You know, it's brilliant. Thank you very much. What was the full amount for the assisted living? Never really said in the original video. Would be interested to know. Les, as a single man with family who I can rely on, I moved to Thailand. I'd be doing a one-way trip, so geriatric needs are important once I get there. Yeah, and this is what you can get over here. This is the information that I want. This is fantastic. You know, this is because by knowing this, what people want, it gives me the information that people want, and then I can nail it down and say, listen, and this is what we're going to do, because I'm doing a video tomorrow with regard to what you can get for your money. And then on top of that is the assisted living. I'm going to talk to various agencies who will supply these agency nurses or the carers and what you get for your money. And I've got to say, I even know before I do the video, it's going to save people such a lot of money. Unbelievable. We'll have a busload of people, bus full of geriatrics when they come to Thailand. I can even lay on the bus. I know somebody who drives a bus. Because we're all getting old, and even I might get that one day. And I said to Ploy, I said, my wife, I said, if I get old and cranky and that, I said, just pay somebody to come and wipe my bum. I said, I don't expect you to do it. I said, we'll just pay somebody else to do it. And then she'll cook and clean as well, which is a bonus for her, because then she wouldn't have to cook and clean. Anyway, that's just going off it. Yeah, nobody will care for me in the US, so I'm off to Thailand. Okay. You are a legend, Les, and thank you for the super chat. Yeah, thank you very much. I would be looking for assisted living alternatives, buying a condo, but renting without freezing my funds in Thailand. Yeah, there's ways of doing that. You're very knowledgeable, Les. I love your channel. Thanks very much. Tons of savings. I checked out a ton of others, and you are the best. So thank you very much. And thank you very much for the super chat. Pooping while standing. There's a bag you can get for that. It's an answer to everything. But there's a bag you can get for that. I'm from nowhere and over here. Even if we have good public care, I would be laying in a room with the odd visit from my kids when they can give the busy lives. So I'm opting for all. Yeah, exactly. Again, when I do this video that I'm going to do, I'll go through step by step. This is what you can do. This is where you're going to live. Secure, feeling, food, everything, absolutely everything. I'll do. Hopefully it's a fantastic video. But now, thank you very much for the people that have responded to that. I can do a video now, and like, that's another little niche that nobody else has done. As far as I'm aware, I'm the only YouTuber that's actually gone down this rabbit hole. But just looking at the the feeling of the people want to know, thirst for knowledge and want to know. Now, if I can point people in the right direction, I'm going to go down this rabbit hole and give you every information you want. And if you've got any specific questions, like on one of my questions that I got asked for a kidney dialysis machine. Now again, they're very rare, but you can rent a kidney dialysis machine here. But whether you'd have to rent the nurse to be able to do it. So, but that's what I'm saying. These are the type of questions that I want. And if I can answer these questions, I'll answer the questions as best as I can. But if I can't answer the questions, I'll certainly send you in the right direction that people can answer the questions. Men may get a caregiver with a Thai girlfriend or wife, but still best for them to know their options. Exactly. Is it easy to get medical insurance in Thailand? Yes, it is, but it can be very expensive. And the older you get, the more expensive it gets. So I have workarounds for that. Not you can't work around having medical insurance, but you can actually go for a full check of your body every couple of years, and it's about 25,000 baht, and that does a CT scan of this important part of your body, which is your lungs, your heart, your liver, your kidneys, and things like that. So you have early warning that something is going wrong, and maybe as if you go back to your home country will be able to treat you, because then you've got the information. This is what's wrong with me. I've done a CT scan. How long would you wait in England for a CT scan? Months. But you can go and get one here for 25,000 baht with all your blood results, your triglycerine results, your diabetic results, your blood results, 25,000 baht. So even if you did that every 2 years, it's going to catch something early. That's if you can't afford the insurance. If you're like 60 to 70 years old, the insurance is quite expensive. Then if you have any underlying problems, they ain't going to insure you for them anyway. So there are ways around everything here. And I have, because I think outside of the box, try this one, try that one, try the other one. And for me, 25,000 baht is a small price to pay every couple of years, which equates to 12,500 baht a year. And you get a full body scan, and it's going to tell you might not want to know what it's going to tell you, but forearmed is forewarned. And if you've got that information, you can fly back to your home country straight away to your own doctors and say, listen, this is what I've had. This are the results from a proper doctor, proper hospital. And then you've you're streets ahead of anybody else, because you've got the diagnosis and you've got the information that you require. And that could be done over here for far, far cheaper and quicker than it can be done in the UK or America or Australia. So there's many ways of thinking about it. Yeah, so that covers the medical insurance. I mean, I've got medical insurance here. At 62-year-old, it cost me about 25,000 baht a year for 700,000 bahts worth of cover. That's, for me, it's just a sticking plaster. So if anything goes wrong, I can go back to England if I need any big major treatment or something like that. But I can't see that happening. It depends what the results are as to whether it's treatable or whatever, whether I need medication. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, but I'm certainly not worried about it. I was diagnosed with emphysema when I went back to the UK. Am I worried about it? Not at all, because I'm an old man. I'm an old man with things that are going to start going wrong. And all of us things start going wrong when we get older. Don't worry about it. Because at the end of the day, old age doesn't last for very long. Super 8, Les, you are the only YouTuber I trust your info. Oh, thank you very much. So many people have said that I'm a trustworthy guy, and the information that I get is there's no BS, and that's correct. I don't tell lies. I only have to tell one story because it's the same story. Some people like me, some people don't like me. Many people say I should have double the amount of subscribers that I've got here because the information I give, and it is information. It's a little bit more than a pizza or a cup of coffee in the best places in Patia or whatever. So anyway, coming on to that, blowing my own trumpet again. If anybody wants to subscribe, if they're not already subscribe would be nice. And if anybody wants to buy a mug, 300 baht, retired and living the dream, but I can only send it to Thailand. 300 baht plus 50 baht postage, and it's retired and living the dream for both of them. That also helps the channel as well, because I've got a few of these, and I've sold a few, but there's many people who like them. So, blow my own trumpet finish. Oh, it was only quick. I might as well advertise on my own channel, mightn't I? Yeah, Liz, you're looking younger. What's going on? I might have that. Well, you know what they say. I've looked into. I mean, I was overweight. I was 118 kilos, and I went on the keto diet, and I got down to 95, which was my lowest, and I've crept back up again a little bit. But now I maintain between 100 and 105. Um, and again, that's the result of being fat for many years. I've always yo-yoed on my diets and things like that. Now I've looked into the keto diet. It's good, as is the carnivore diet, because it's like caveman days. This is what we lived on in the caveman days, and that's far better than the processed food that they try to force down you. And sadly, but 7-Eleven force down a lot of additives in their food. But we can't live in a perfect world, can we? But I also, um, vitamin D is very important. You get vitamin D from the sun. Now in England, it's cloudy for about 8 months of the year, so there's a lot of people missing vitamin D. Uh, I've read a lot of reports with K2 and MX7, I think it is, for vitamins. Magnesium is another one. 60% of the world's population is deficient in magnesium, and like with the UK, because the water's been treated, the magnesium is actually out of the water. So years and years and years ago, we used to get magnesium in our water before they chlorinated everything and took all the salts out and everything. So I'm on magnesium tablets now, and that makes you sleep better, and it just makes you feel better. Magnesium tablets, and that's 700 baht for 3 months worth of magnesium tablets. Like vitamin D, I get loads of sunshine here anyway, so I feel younger, I feel better. For those people who've watched my videos for the 9 weeks in England, everybody said I looked ill, I looked gaunt, and I did, and I felt that way. But the minute I got back to Thailand, I've been back here for 8 months now, and bang, not an illness, not feeling rough, not feeling. It does that to you. Sunshine, warmth makes you feel good all day, every day. Thanks for the compliment that I look younger anyway. Thank you very much. 63. I was 62, but I'm 63. Liz, you are the only YouTuber I trust. Oh, yeah, I've said that one. Thank you very much. Uh, please take some budget alternates in consideration too when it comes to all. 100,000 for inpatients a year and pay, go to outpatients. Last week, 2 doctors, one orthopedic surgeon, 3 hours at a Bangkok hospital. Yeah, that's a lot. 800, is that 80,042 or? Can't quite see that. I've got a comma there, but you can. There's a guy that I know that paid 90,000 baht. He was feeling unwell. He was being sick. He had food poisoning, so he went into the Bangkok Rayon Hospital for 2 nights on a drip, and he paid 90,000 baht for 2 nights in the Bangkok Rayon Hospital. And as my other friend who had tuberculosis, treated with tuberculosis in a private room because he had TB, with the doctors and the nurses, 5 days for less than 50,000 baht. Public hospitals, don't be afraid of public hospitals. You're still going to get treated in a public hospital. Anyway, I've said to my wife, if I have an accident or I'm sick, send me to a public hospital first. And thankfully, on the insurance that I've got with Pacific Cross, that's the insurance I pay. And if you join Pacific Cross through the Patia Expats Club, you get a bit of a discount off that as well. So joining the Expats Club in Patia, which is only cheap anyway to join the Expats Club, you don't have to go there, but if you join the Expats Club, you're entitled to a bit of a discount off the Pacific Cross insurance. And anybody who wants to know the link to the Pacific Cross insurance, send me an email and I'll send you the details. The lady that deals with my Pacific Cross insurance, and she also does other like motorbike insurance, car insurance, things like that. But she's based in Patia. Old age doesn't last long. That's so true. In fact, I did an ebook about that, and that was called "Don't Worry, Old Age Doesn't Last for Very Long." I'm shocked with the bill and I feel great now. Yeah, nobody likes paying a lot of money for treatment. Thankfully, hopefully, I've never been a sickly person. I've only ever spent a week in hospital in the whole of my life, and I don't want to go back to hospital. So if I can keep out of them, I'll keep out of them. After I saw you last week, I had too much pain in the shoulder, so drove home Sunday, went to Bangkok Hospital, new done, and was taken care of. Feel great now. Good, 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 good. Looked into assisted living for my mother, £1,500 per week. Crazy, crazy, isn't it? I could almost guarantee you over here, um, you'd get accommodation and a living carer for that amount of money per month, not per week, per month. She does the cooking, the cleaning, the ironing, uh, and the 24-hour care over in Thailand. So it's shockingly expensive everywhere in the world. My mother, she ended up in a care home for a week. She was very resistant going into it. My mother had dementia. She was very resistant to go in there, but she did like it. She was only in there for a week, but then she got ill and she got took into hospital. But that was £700 a month in a council-run nursing home because she was not a poor person, but um, the social care took care of it, and that was £700 a week, and this is going back 5 or 6 years ago now. So £2,800 a month in the sort of nursing home that the social care takes care of. So it's not the best nursing home, but £700 a week. Crazy. Yeah. Good afternoon. Well, to say it's been rainy season. It's been beautiful up here in Udentani. Again, it's like they're already complaining about not being raining enough in various parts of Thailand, whereas last year it was the worst rains that they had for 30 years. But this year it sounds like, I mean, look at it, it's beautiful here, nice and warm. And to be fair, we haven't really had much rain or flooding at all up to now. But we're in August, so August, September, October are sort of the worst months as far as rain's concerned. So but they're already talking about a potential drought in Thailand this year because the rains haven't come. Okay. Do you have to live in Patia area to join? No, you can live anywhere you want. I can send you the link to the expats club. I think it's about 600 baht to join the expats club, and but that allows you to get the discount for the insurance because what they do because they sort of block insure the whole of the expats club at Patia. So because there's 100 or 200 members, they get a discount because they have that amount of people already taken out the insurance with the Patia Expats Club. So it's worthwhile. You can look into it yourself and see how much it would cost compared to how much it would cost if you join the Expats Club to see whether it's worth it. But everybody that I've sent the details to have joined the Expats Club as well. But you don't have to be living in Patia to join the Expats Club in Patia. But it's worthwhile. They do a meeting every week, and I've actually talked on a couple of talks at the Expats Club. But now because I live quite away from it, I used to enjoy it. I did a couple of lectures on living in high rises and how to escape if there was a fire situation, and also driving in Thailand with regard to how dangerous the roads are and how to look after yourself and take care about defensive driving in Thailand. So I enjoyed that. That was good fun. Uh, Seems to be cheaper in small local hospitals. Had a foot infection, deep sore cut, so out 3 nights in a private room, all on antibiotics, with virtually nothing, and a couple of 100 baht to get it dressed. Yeah. Now there's an American guy who came over here, and basically I told him what to do, how to go about it, and basically how not to get things wrong in Thailand. And he sort of broke everything that I told him not to do. and foolishly drink driving on his motorbike on the wrong side of the road, hit a truck. But he never fell off his bike, but his foot caught the rear wheel arch of the truck. And long story short, he ended up having 2 toes amputated, and he had no insurance. And the bike that he rented had no insurance, but with the wizardry of Thai people, the bike was insured, so that paid partially for his accident. And even though he had no money to pay for his hospital fees, because he had no money at all, very, very poor, an American guy. I still don't know 100% how it was, because he tells 1 or 2 different stories. But in the long and the short of it, he had 2 toes amputated, in hospital for a week, and he only paid 20,000 baht in a private hospital. How that worked out, I don't know, but he does tell some pretty tall stories. So whether he was telling me the truth or not, I don't know, but the whole lot of it sounds a bit suspect. But he had 2 toes amputated, and he might have to have a 3rd toe amputated because of infection. But that was all to do with 4 months. But he shouldn't have been drinking and driving in the first place. He was on the wrong side of the road because he was drunk, and he hit the truck. So in my opinion, everything was his own fault, and he has to pay the price for that. Anyway, that's another story. But I could do a whole video about this guy came to me with no money, American, how he could live over here with no money or very little money, and I told him where to go, what to do, and I said there's 2 or 3 things that is going to suck your money straight away, and he did the 3 things that sucked all his money away from him straight away, even though I told him. But that's an interesting story, but that's another video. When I do one of my videos, don't do this in Thailand. Let's have a look. Been here nearly 3 years. Past 2 years had flooding. Luckily home okay. Definitely seems better this year. Yeah, it's there. Rayong was last year was flooded. Worst floods that they've had for 30 years. But here, I mean, my home is called Lake Home. Lake Home. We've got lakes all the way around of us, but we never got flooded at all last year. It's lovely. Press the like button, people. It helps Les. Thanks very much, Kevin. Yeah, we're doing well. We've got 97 likes. I wonder if we can get 100. If we can get 100 likes, 100 thumbs up, that'd be fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Kevin, for that. Yep, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe would be nice as well, because that all helps the algorithm and gets me towards. I'm aiming for 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That'd be very, very nice. I'll be over the moon with that. Okay, I've ruled out getting a scooter to travel around with when moving over, but get a car. I might have a scooter for short trips to some mom and pop restaurants and food market. Yeah, that's what we have. We have a little scooter. My wife has a motorbike and sidecar. Our scooter is 9 years old, and we've got just over 12,000 kilometers on it. So we just use it for doing local shopping and things like that. It's just good just to nip around, and the fact that we live in Rayong, the traffic's very, very light anyway, so it's not too bad. But yeah, you're much safer in the car. And although Thailand has a bad reputation for deaths on the road, a lot to do with that is the drunkenness of people in Thailand and no safety helmets. Even though it's compulsory to wear safety helmets, people don't wear safety helmets here in Thailand. So you come off a road, you're going to bang your head, and you're a goner. So I always wear a helmet, even if I go to the local shops. I wear my helmet. And don't drink and drive. If you've got an alcohol problem in your home country, you're going to have a worse alcohol problem over here, because that's one of my pet hates about Thailand, is that the enforcement of the drink driving rules here are so lax. They will actually help you put you back in the car if you're drunk. As long as there's a brown envelope involved, they'll help you get back in the car. And that's the sad part about it, that there's a lot of drunkenness and driving around here. For me, if we go out on a group and we're going to the beach or something, I'll stay in a little resort that's near the beach, walking distance to the beach, and it's for 600 or 700 baht for the night. That's much safer than driving home. And you get another hotel for the night for 600 or 700 baht. Is it worth driving and possibly killing somebody or yourself? No, it isn't. For me, bit of advice from Les: stay in a hotel. It's the cheaper way of doing it, and it's the safest way to do it. Yeah, a scooter's not for everybody. Fruit is great and cheap in Thailand. It is. Yeah, uh, it's not worth it. Drink driving isn't worth it, and it's the best to sleep it off. Exactly. Alcohol is cheap, and yes, it is. It's cheap. Well, some people say it's not. Other people say it is. I'm not a big drinker myself, so I don't really know. But it can be cheap. But hotel accommodation is so cheap here. It's probably cheaper to rent a hotel or apartment for the night or stay in the resort for the night than it is to try and get a taxi. Where we live, there isn't any taxis to get us back to where we live, because we live sort of like in the remote area of Rayong. So there isn't any taxis. So it makes sense to stay there overnight in the resort, because the resorts are everywhere. Cheap hotel is everywhere. We just ask people to maybe be in a little bit better location so we can find one of them. And there are plenty. And people say, yeah, okay. But even some of my friends who are absolutely mortal when they're drunk drive the cars home. There was one guy a year or so ago, very, very drunk, and he was known to be a drunk. Actually killed two Thai people, and he never spent the night in prison because he paid them off with a couple of million baht. But over here, the brown envelopes speak more than anybody. Killing. Imagine living that with your conscience, killing somebody because you've been a drunk and driving and killing somebody. 2 million baht, and the problem went away. Never even spent a single night in the cells. Anyway, that's one of my pet hates about living here in Thailand with drinking and driving. Building a resort in Thailand, hopefully get people to stay in it to sleep it off instead of driving. Exactly. If you advertise that type of thing, especially if you're near a beach location and things like that, or next to a big bar anywhere, it just makes sense, because we do that all the time. Wherever we go, if we know we're going, I'll either not drink, because drink, when all said and done, doesn't bother me. If we're going to a place where there isn't a resort, then I won't drink, because I can have a drink anytime I want at home. Yeah, well, yeah, having the air conditioner in the car is good. Yeah, full face helmet. Yeah, Kevin, you're fantastic, Les, an encyclopedia of information. People people don't acknowledge you half enough. I hope you get more super chats, no matter how small. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, again, no matter how small, every little bit helps. I, I don't. How can I put this? There are other YouTubers who have subscribers, where you have to pay. Oh, Mark, thank you very much for the super chat. I've just mentioned about super chat, and Mark's just popped up. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, much appreciated. Thank you very much. Now, some other YouTubers have private videos, behind the scenes, Patreons, special members areas, and things like that. I'm an open book. There's behind my scenes the sofa and my hammock, and over there's the sunrise. I don't have a behind the scenes. If you want to know behind the scenes, just ask me and I'll show you. But there isn't any behind the scenes. This is me. This is what you get. I don't charge for a private members area, so you can watch privately done videos. I don't do that type of thing because all my videos are free for everybody to watch. I do ask for if somebody wants an hour's consultation with me for $10, which is next to nothing. There's other YouTubers that I know, £45 for 30 minutes, and another YouTuber, £500 for an hour to talk with him. So $10, and I only charge $10 for the hour if you get the information you want. If you don't get the information you want, you don't have to pay. You don't pay before, you only pay afterwards, $10. So the super chats, I much appreciate. Thanks very much. It just goes to show I'm doing it right, and I much appreciate the guys that have made the super chats. It all helps. Here we are now, three hours long, and like the guy says, I'm full of knowledge and full of information, and I hope it's useful information to everybody. Oh, I just got to the 100 thumbs up. Thank you very much. And we've still got 71 people in the house. So it just goes to show the information, because I've still got 70 odd people, there's many people still want to know the information. So I'll go on a little bit longer. And as I say, if anybody's got any questions, email me. I'll probably spend 2 hours tomorrow morning answering all the emails from the chat, because what it does, it goes on a loop things as well, so people can watch the chat afterwards. And usually I get between 1,200 and 1,800 people who look at this live stream after the event, which is also good as well. Yeah, not a good idea to ride a motorbike without a proper license. Exactly, but here's an example. If you don't have a license to drive a motorbike here, it's 500 baht, like 11 or 12 pounds, and you'll get a white slip of paper, and that'll cover you for 7 days. So if the police stop you again within 7 days and you don't have a license, you don't pay any more fines. If I got caught in England without a license, the motorbike's taken off me, and I can't get my motorbike back until I show that I've got insurance. But here, 500 baht, you pay the policeman, and you go. I also fly a drone here. For occasionally, I do some drone footage for the houses and stuff like that I advertise. If I got caught flying a drone here, which is the smallest drone you can get, less than 249 grams, DJI Mini 2. If I get caught flying that without a license, it's 100,000 baht. I have to pay the fine, and up to 5 years imprisonment for flying a drone, compared to driving a motorbike with no license or insurance. They give you it back. But here, because if they caught me flying the drone and I didn't have my license, they got a new present for their little son or daughter. Hey, well, I've got you a drone because he didn't want to pay the 100,000 baht fine. Same with the car. You know, if you get caught no driver's license or insurance on the car, you just get a little white piece of paper and the 500 or 1,000 baht fine, and away you go. They'll just put you back in the car and away you drive. So yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit crazy, but that's what it is. That's Thailand. You know, the rules aren't totally enforced, but some people hate some of the rules, but like some of the rules, it's a swings and roundabouts. There's some good things and bad things about living in Thailand. Just take everything with a pinch of salt and just get on with it. Too many YouTube channels are about generating an income and not just being helpful. Yes, some of the, I mean, I think a lot of the YouTube information is good. For instance, like there's another legal YouTuber who's saying that what I'm doing is illegal because I need a work permit to be a YouTuber. I'm a small fry YouTuber in comparison to lots of other people, and technically he's correct. I should have a work permit. But because I'm such a small YouTuber, I actually asked the lawyer how much it would cost to go legal, to do everything over and above board. I couldn't afford to do this legally wise, set up a company and that, because then I'm bending the rules that way? Because I'd have to employ 4 Thai people, which I couldn't afford. So I don't actually employ them, I just get them on the books. But I pay their social security. So is that bending the law? Because I'm not actually employing 4 people, I've just got them on my books, but I'm only paying their social and I'm paying their tax or whatever, so I can do what I want to do. So is that legal, or is that another grey area? That's what I'm saying with Thailand. It's a grey area. But the information that I'm giving to people is promoting Thailand for people to come to Thailand. So isn't that worth something as well? If there was a legal route for me to go, 100% legal route that is affordable, then I'd go the legal route, because I've actually looked into it. But the routes that the people have told me are more illegal than what I'm doing now. And if the immigration come up to me and say, Les, you shouldn't be working on YouTube, then I'll just pack it in. I'll just say, yeah, okay, thanks very much. And I'll just do a sign off and shut. But the value for money that the YouTubers bring to Thailand is immeasurable. So it's a bit of a grey area. The guy who told me that I'm working illegally, I asked him for the information. He was going to charge me 5,380 baht just to talk to him about it. So who's fleecing the system? Who's promoting bad vibes and bad feelings about 5,380 to talk about a subject that he wouldn't tell me eventually how much it might cost me. But yet another lawyer told me up to 80,000 baht, 80,000 baht to do everything, to form a company that actually isn't doing what the company says, because I wouldn't be employing 4 people, but I've got 4 Thai people on my books. Is that bending the law? Is that cheating? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to think about that. But anyway, yeah, drone versus motorbike. Yeah, the motorbike's going to win all the time. Hello, Les. I can't find your email anywhere on your channel. Is it possible to get? I'll write it down here. Leslie Pearson 58 at yahoo.com. Leslie Pearson 58 at yahoo.com. Yeah, I apologise if I'm late in replying to some emails. And actually, some emails go to my spam or go to my junk folder, so I've missed quite a few. But when I've looked in my spam and my junk folder, there they are, and I've replied to people. I might miss the odd one or two, so if I've missed you, I'm sorry, and I apologise for that. But I do answer as many questions and comments that I can, because if you've took the time to write to me and comment on me, I should be at least thankful and do a reply, not just a thumbs up and thank you very much, but I'll give a little reply saying thanks very much for taking time to comment, something like that. That's more of a thank you than a thumbs up, which some of the YouTubers that I write and comment just give me a thumbs up or a thanks, which is just a standard answer. So I appreciate for those people who do send me comments and do send me messages, that I do try to answer every single one of them. But that can take, again, time consuming, like an hour or 2 hours on the morning. And I do that every morning when I get up. That's the first thing I do, is reply to my comments. How long can you drive a car and motorbike on the British international driver license? A year. Yeah, international license lasts for up to a year. And once you've got your Thai license, your first license you get for 2 years, and then you can redo it, and it's every 5 years it has to be renewed. But it's a long-winded process to renew, and it could take a whole day, sometimes 2 days, to renew your 5-year drive. That's why the bureaucracy of the Thai driver's licenses, that's why so many people don't have a driver's license over here, because as a Thai person it could take up to 2 days to get your license. So 2 days, that's 2 days without working, because they don't open weekends, just Monday to Friday. So you can understand why many people, Thai people, don't have licenses, because it takes 2 days out of their working day. So yeah, international license will last for a year, but it has to be with your original driver's license also. You just can't use your international driver's license. Uh, where widening the Bangkok Silk Village. Okay, Panchan Resort. Yeah, if you're building resorts, are wonderful places. I like the little resorts. Uncle Craig, hi Les, looking younger every day. What are you not eating? I'm not eating all the processed foods that, full of sugars and things like that. I drink a lot of water. All the drinks that I have here, like Coke Zero, Sprite Zero, I do away with the sugar as much as I can. And if the wife cooks for me, she cooks the same meal, but she puts if she puts sweetener in, she'll put my 0 calorie sugars in it. But then she'll portion it off, and then she'll put her own sugar when she cooks the meals. Because Thai meals are laced with sugars everywhere you go. The amount of sugar that they put in their meals is is eye-watering, really. They put sugar with everything over here. There is a new YouTuber I started to follow that said he was not getting to parents, etc. But when he got monetized, he's now opening private membership, exclusive videos, etc. So keep it on, Les. Yeah, I, to me, the information I've got is one, it gives me something to do, and I love doing this. And the information that I give, I think I give more value for money than majority of YouTubers here. And I keep using the example of pizzas and coffees type thing. There's a couple of YouTubers, and they get like 10 or 15,000 views for, oh, this is a good pizza, this is a nice coffee shop here, this is where to go if you want a nice meal or something like that. And think, okay, I can understand the Patia um, vloggers like Nick Dean. Nick Dean is a very, I've met Nick Dean a few times, and he is probably going to end up owning about half of Soy 7. But he's an interesting guy, and he's on the ball, and he's interesting to watch because he's in there, he's in the thick of it, and he's good. And the other one that I like watching is Trevor Buzzin Patia. He's another great guy. He has a lot of information, but them guys are in Patia, and Patia is where you get the big views and the big numbers. But I don't deal with Patia. There's plenty of other YouTubers that deal with Patia, but Buzzin Patia is good, and Nick Dean TV is good because he does live streams. In fact, he does a live stream on a Sunday as well. So he's probably doing the live stream now. I think 5 o'clock he does it. Anyway, so them's the sort of channels that I watch. Blah, 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 blah. Hi Les, Bob. Hi Les. Anything early September for 60 days slow travel around the land of smiles? So I think applying for a multi-entry tourist visa from the UK costs £150, but visa is valid for 6 months, 60 days stay. Now, the multi-entry visa, for me, that's only worth it if you're going to leave Thailand 5 times, because to get a single entry or a single exit, single entry visa is 1,000 baht. To get a multi-entry, it's 4,500 baht. So if you're leaving, going in and out of Thailand 5 times, it's worth getting it. But anything less than 5 times, it's worth it just getting at one each time. You can get the immigration office, and you can also get it at the airport. So that's the cheaper way, rather than paying for a multi-entry, which it only becomes viable if you leave 5 times within the year. But I think you said it's only valid for 6 months or 60 days. So just go for the single one, and then renew it when you come back if you want to do another trip. But yeah, the 60-day visa, it's a 60-day visa, and then you apply for 30 days. So it's a 90-day visa. They call it a 90-day visa, but in reality, it's 60 days plus 30 days extension. Oh. Thank you, Martin Bonner. Comes to next year up north. Okay, yeah. Good luck with the resource. The validity dates of the international driver's permit have changed in the UK. Thailand used to be 1 year, but now it's changed to 3 years. Oh, that's good. 3 years. That's brilliant. That's good news, you know. So then you can legally drive around town, because if hopefully nobody has an accident, but if you have an accident, like every insurance company will try their best to get out of it. So if you're driving around on a scooter or a car and you have an accident and you don't have the license or insurance, one, your travel insurance isn't going to pay up because you're breaking the law by not having a license. So you need to check all of these things before you come on holiday, because plan for the worst and expect the best. And if you don't have an accident, that's really, really good. I mean, a friend of mine, another American friend of mine, took his Thai car to Cambodia without travel insurance or insurance on his car. And he went to Cambodia for a week, and I said, "Have you got insurance?" He said, "No. What do I need insurance for?" I said, "Well, what if you have an accident?" And he said, "Well, what if I don't have an accident?" I said, "Well, what if your car gets stolen?" He said, "What if it doesn't get stolen?" So he travelled to Cambodia for a week in his car without any insurance. For me, if he had an accident in Cambodia with his car, he'd go to jail, because over here there's a um, there's a fund within your insurance. It's you get out it's your bond, your bail bond, and I think it's about 200,000 or 300,000 baht for your bail bond to get you out of jail whilst you're waiting to be punished because you're driving. So if he didn't have insurance in Cambodia and he had an accident and he hurt somebody, he would have spent a lot of time in the Cambodian jail because he didn't have his bail bond. So insurance is a little bit different. It's the car that's insured and not the person that drives it in Thailand. So take care with insurances and find out, so you understand the insurance details. Now, there are plenty of insurance agents will explain to you absolutely every A, B, C, D, so you understand about car insurance, what it can cover and what it doesn't cover. And again, one of my other friends who came here bought a brand new car and smashed it up within 2 weeks. And he was told in no, because he was driving and he didn't have his Thai driver's license or an international driver's license, a brand new car, the insurance wasn't going to pay. So his wife said she was driving and she wasn't, but the insurance paid out. But again, that was what happened, that if he didn't say that she was driving, he wouldn't have got his car paid for. Brand spanking new car, 2 weeks old. Patia perverts paradise. Yep, it is. I call Patia Pinocchio land because there's a price to pay for playing around in Patia. I stick my hands up. I played around in Patia, and I always felt it was Pinocchio land, and it is. But boy, you can have some fun and you can have some good times, but you can still be one of the loneliest people in the world living in Patia. It's false. It's fake. It is party time, it is playtime, but that's it. It's nothing real. But it's good. Partly good for a holiday, but wouldn't want to stay there permanently. Exactly, it's brilliant for food, for entertainment. We go there every now and then just to watch the live bands and to have some food. And my wife doesn't mind going. You know, we have some friends that we meet down in Patia, and we don't go around all the seedy places. We sit. There's a couple of places in Tree Town that we just sit and watch the world go by, overlooking Cyber Cow, and we have a few beers, and we just pass the time away just watching people watching, and it's so much fun. uh, Great live video, Les. We'll catch the rest later. Need to do some chores now. Yeah, I'm almost, well, 3 hours 25 minutes or 24 minutes. Wow, that's another long one today. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Go and do your chores. It's 6:20 now, so the midges are going to start coming out now and nibbling. So I shall be going in very shortly to go and get something to eat. But thank you very much for those people who are just about to go and for watching. Much appreciated. How much you charge March on the resort, yeah. Went to Patia once, prefer Phuket myself, but that's changed a lot now. Last time went to they became very commercialised now. Yeah, I've not been to. Good night, Bill. Thanks very much for joining me. Take care, mate. Thanks very much. As always, thank you very much for watching and the support that you give. Much appreciated. Yeah, Phuket has changed. Um, Now there's lots of Russians in Phuket, and they're sort of taking over Phuket. They're sort of doing some things that the Thai people are not very happy at, with the renting of houses and their own little mafia, their own little taxi place. Um, and the Chinese are coming. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a power struggle between the Russians and the Chinese in Phuket. And sadly, I think there's been a couple of incidents involving Russian people in Phuket, and I think that's why my own thinking. I can't say it's right or wrong, but I think that's why they're actually changing the rules on the elite visa to stop all the Russians from coming in the droves that they are, and sort of flouting the visa rules, being able to stay here longer. Anyway, that's a whole new story, but it is what it is. Phuket is good uh, for holidays and things like that. And Pattaya is good for single guys and things like that. It has everything there. It is a man's paradise. But Thailand is for everybody. And again, like the girl that I'm helping move from America, um, she's happy with the location that she's got. You don't have to go to Pattaya. And Thailand welcomes everybody. They just welcome nice people. Good people in, bad people out. That was one of the phrases that they used to work or say, and I'd agree with that. So, good people in, bad people out. So I think that'll be around 400 baht a night. Building house there. 400 baht a night, excellent. That's what I'm saying. You can get some nice accommodation here for very reasonable prices. I think the cheapest we paid was about that 400 baht. And I showed Kelly, we stayed in Jomtien for the night. And I said, this is a cheap hotel. And we paid 750 baht. And it was sort of in the semi entertainment section, shall I say, because she wanted to see and she wanted to see what you get for your money. So 750 baht with breakfast. And we sat in the bar opposite our hotel, watched the world go by. We had a few changs, and we put the world to rights. And she liked it. She's very open-minded, and like she said, if I was a guy, that would do exactly the same thing that the guy is doing over here in Thailand. So anyway, that's a whole different story, and we will do more videos with regard to her story about moving over to here from America. So anyway, at that, we're at 3 hours and 27 minutes. I'm going to call an end because I'm getting bit by little mosquitoes. And thank you very much for all those people who joined the live stream. I hope you found it useful, and much appreciated the support that I get from the channel, support from the people. I am going to go down that rabbit hole with regard to assisted living, and more and more videos are going to come at that because there's a big audience for that, and I've got some really good ideas to help people to achieve assisted living here on far cheaper than in their home countries. So hello, Les, arrived late. Can you tell me the best way to go about buying a property? Is it better to go around the area looking for the sale sign using a vendor? Yeah, I'll answer this one last question. Yeah, I would say if you drive around the area, if you've got a Thai girlfriend, drive around the area, look for properties for sale, and they'll all have a for sale sign, because if you use the agent, if you use an agent, they have a better choice rather than you just drive around. But I would say if you drive around the area that you like, you can see the houses where you want to live, and you have a gut feeling whether it's a nice area or whether it isn't. instantly you're going to save yourself 2 or 3% because you've got that wiggle room. So, you know, let's face it, if it's 3 million baht, the estate agent is going to charge them at least 3% for selling their house. So if you turn up without an agent, you can sort of ask for the same thing. So there's instantly 2 or 3% saving, even on top of whatever negotiations you're going to, because everybody is sort of going to drop a little bit. So yeah, drive around the area without an agent, and you'll be able to pick up a couple of better bargains. But then, if you want to get an agent, they will give you all the details of the houses around the area. But bear in mind, if you even if you go to an agent's office, you know, and they give you all them details, they will still expect the commission because they've given you the details, because they will note who you are, which addresses you're going to have a look at, what information they've sent you. So they will also charge that person the 3% because they've, in other words, they've used their office to introduce you to in the first place. So yeah, go around, look at the places yourself, get your Thai girlfriend to give the number a ring. Try, I mean, usually most people will advertise it by a self sale, or you might see that the agent's number. But there are many agents about, and so if you can get one direct, you'll save yourself 2 or 3% of what the asking price is. So I would go that way. Okay, cheers. Thanks very much. Time to see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Great, Les Show. Thanks very much. Cheers. Martin Scott in New Zealand. Thank you very much. Enjoy New Zealand. Thank you, Les. Great show. Avoid the agents, both rent and buying properties. Yeah, again, same thing. Go to a condo, ask to see if there's any rental properties available, and usually there's a display cabinet that they'll have the rentals up. So that's the same thing in a rental or buying. So anyway, I'm going to call that quits. 3.5 hours, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll do it in a couple of weeks' time as well. So look forward to the rest of the videos. I've done another car washing video, which I'm going to put on maybe tomorrow or something like that. So lots of people like me car washing videos, washing the car, but I give some good information also. Okay, thanks very much. My voice is about to go. Thanks very much, everybody. Enjoy. Bye for now.